Hello, welcome everybody. Hope you guys are having a great day. We are here for the Alpha X series special, ninth edition. Let me go ahead and introduce myself. It is Snoopy, your friendly neighborhood cat dog, and joining here by my side is the one, the only, Contistas.
Feels good to be back, guys. Been a while. Hope you're gonna enjoy this series as much as I'm sure I'm going to enjoy this.
Oh yeah, we have a sick lineup, and
Yeah.
let's actually take a look at it. Let's bring up the bracket here. Going to go ahead and bring up the Wikipedia bracket here on screen. As you can see, we have our first semifinals, which will be between Patience and Innovation. That is going to be a really good one. And then the second semifinals will be between Solar and Dream. Now,
Yeah.
at Contistas, I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to ask you, what is your prediction between
All right.
Patience and Innovation?
Patience versus innovation is gonna be a pretty fun one, especially since Patience is a very unique style to play the matchup. I feel I still gonna give it to innovation for this. I feel like it's way too solid, but I don't think it's gonna be a very one-sided series. I think it's gonna be pretty close. I'm gonna actually predict like a 3-1 for innovation, even a 3-2. But I still gonna give it to him. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to agree with you. Maybe a 3-2 for Innovation. I feel like Innovation has been playing pretty well.
Yeah,
Patience as well, but I think Innovation. I mean, his mechanics are just so good. So I could definitely see a 3-2 ish kind of win for Innovation. Now let's head into the lower semifinals. It's going to be between Solar and Dream. Now this one is I feel is a bit more tricky. Who do you think is going
truly
to come
is.
out?
Yeah, as you said, like it's very tricky. It's two players that can really like shine or not in a series. They can really widely vary in performance. I think Solar has had quite a good show lately, especially against Special, and I'm gonna give it to him since I feel like it's one of his most um like most well thought out matchups. Like I feel like he has the best build builders and the best way to play this matchup among all of his matchups. So I'm gonna give it to him. And I really think that Dream has to step up quite a bit to be able to get this series against Solar, but I think he can do that. My prediction is Solar, but I think Dream can, if he really shines today, he can really bring up this this series to the finals.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree as well. I mean, I think on paper, I think most people would probably favor Solar. I think he's kind of the more recognized name, has a bit more achievements under his belt. But Dream, definitely a wild card. I mean, he has shown that he can take off a series
Definitely.
amongst the top players, the top Korean players as well. So we shall see. Definitely going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, definitely. I still remember like the performance out of Dream from last season of GSL. It was a crazy good run from him. Coming up first in his group stage, like it was a very difficult group. I don't quite remember who was there, but I remember it was quite a difficult one. And I'm really excited to see how he will perform during the rest of the year. So it's one of those players that when he plays good, he plays really, really good.
Hmm.
I really think he doesn't really play at this best most of the times. I put it like on the same tier as like SOS lately. Like one of those players who can easily be among the first five players world, but he just doesn't really perform um, like always. Like it really underperforms a lot of the times. I think a lot of it comes also to like a little bit of an experience to deal with the best of fives. Like he's one of those players who just really shines maybe in the best of three environment. but maybe it will prove me wrong in this best of 5.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna go ahead and begin our map vetoes, and then once we get that started, we shall open up the game lobby. But before we get started with that, like Sushi typed in the chat, we thank you guys for joining us here today, and do please consider making an account on Trovo and then following us here. We're gonna have plenty of high-level content to bring to this channel, and definitely want to follow us, possibly get notified whenever we go live. If you do or have noticed us streaming or casting the Alpha X series special, we're gonna pretty much have this event occurring every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Korean Standard Time, which is for you European people is 9 a.m. CEST, and then also for our NA viewers, it is going to be at 3 a.m. EDT. So make sure to tune in every week.
Yeah, like you can have the perfect time for all regions. So I'm sorry for our North American friends. They're a little bit of a disadvantage here. Some of them will still like at least see the first few matches.
Yeah. And by the way, we also have a Matcherino page for this event. I believe, yeah, it's pinned in the chat, in the top of the chat. If you go to the pinned message, there is a Matcherino link, as well as the coupon code, which you can use to add 50 cents for free to the prize pool. So help support the players. And then also, if you want to help out additionally, you can also do the sponsor quests at the kind of the right side of the Matcherino page. Encourages all our sponsors to kind of put more money and invest more money into the StarCraft 2 scene. So definitely head on over there and use those coupon codes, do those quests as we about to get started in Game 1 between Patience and Innovation.
We're going through the veto phase just now, so apparently just any map is okay for the players. Like they're going very slowly between these vetoes.
Yeah, I think Patience, like, he's run out of patience. He's like, just any map is okay. Just let's go. Let's make everyone happy.
Like, I don't think I'm gonna make anyone angry if I just go on and get into our first map being Eternal Empire. It's just probably the best one we can get.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I feel like my motto is just like, just someone choose the first map and then we'll just lose his pick after that. But I mean, I guess there's some, strategies included in terms of map vetoes. But
why is it Taiwan, the region? That is weird.
Oh, you gotta change it in the options.
I did change it in the options.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you in the options, just check pick game server on lobby creation. I think if you check that, that'll allow you to before the.
Oh wow. Yeah, that was a little bit of a oopsie for me. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I actually choose the Korean server, and then like later on when I re-log in, for some reason changes to Taiwan sometimes.
Yeah, no, it was correct for me. Like for some weird reasons, like it shows in Taiwan just now. I'm gonna make you ref, by the way.
You can make both of us ref since yeah. All right, we're about to get started. First map will be on Eternal Empire. Good map to start on.
Waiting for Innovation to give us the green light, and we'll get right into our first map. Well,
By the way, guys, just want to double check if you could type into the Twitch chat, or not Twitch chat, the Trovo chat, if the sounds are all right, the sound levels between me and Acontistas. That would be definitely appreciated. Just want to double check.
Also, like during the games, probably like music, volumes, everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to do all of these things. So, guys, big heads up to Snoopy for stepping up his game for this series and bringing us perfect production every time.
Thank you.
That's
we
pretty
at
neat.
Alpha X definitely want to bring the best production. Of course, we're not gonna have like GSL level production or ESL, but we do our best.
All right, looks like Innovation has given us the green light. We're starting off here on Eternal Empire, game just starting. And boy, I'm excited for this. I said that before. It feels good to be back, guys. It feels very good.
This Sushi saying Acontistas you could be a little bit louder, I think. So I guess just raise your voice a little bit. I guess it should be fine.
I guess.
Yeah, or go closer to the mic or something. I don't know.
I can do both.
All right, let's get started.
All right. Let me start it off with the introductions. With the player spawning in the bottom left hand corner as the teal Protoss, playing for Team LP. It is Patience.
And spawning here at the top right corner of the map is the red Terran player from KaiZ Gaming. It is Innovation.
So we were in Eternal Empire. Are you expecting any particular style out of those two players? I really have a little bit of an idea already.
For me, I think Patience has been really known for his aggressive Blink Stalker play throughout his career. And then I look at this map, I'm seeing the surface area in the main base where the Blink Stalkers can take advantage of. And I'm thinking he might go for that. Go for that Blink Stalker opening. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I've seen Patience play this matchup on this map many times, and I feel like he always goes for a little bit of a swarm toss style. As you were saying, Blink Stalkers almost surely gonna be the opener, and then he's just gonna make a million Stalkers and try to swarm his opponent with like many gateway style, like 16 to 18 gateways, and try to macro it up as quickly as possible. This could also be a weak point though, if Innovation decides to like exploit it in the early game, try to go for an aggressive style. So Innovation, well known for his very crispy timings, so you gotta pay attention to that, because it could be one way the Terran player could end the game as quick as possible.
Yeah, it looks like Patience wanna go ahead and just get some extra scouting, see what's up, make sure he can get all the scouting information he can get. But in the meantime, Reaper does come into the main base of Patience. We'll get a snipe on the probe, and we'll maybe possibly get out. Oh, just barely.
He doesn't get out. Like, it was a Stalker first, not an Adept first, so Patience not gonna get much more scouting right now. Of course, killing the Reaper allows him to get a little bit on the map. But, oh, it's gonna be a Stargate opener, actually, from Patience. Like, this is very interesting. Sniping down the Reaper means that he can basically choose whatever deck he wants without being really scared of being spotted early on. So I like this play by Patience, but I really want to see how he does want to play this, because it can be tricky to play Stargate on a very big map against Terran. Because Terran player who actually just stays defensive can really put on a nasty timing against a Stargate opener.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a 2-1-1 build here coming out of Innovation. So we might actually see a kind of a bio timing, bio stim timing. But in the meantime, two Hellions will be making its way into the natural. Does he have a full wall off there? It doesn't look like he quite has it. Oh, he just moved out his sentry at the wrong time. Couldn't get the force field. Oh my god, look. Oh!
That was perfect from Innovation. Oh god, 9 probes down to 2 aliens. You don't want that to happen, Patience. His play also has been spotted, I feel like. I'm not too sure, but I think he saw the Oracle. So, Innovation still preparing his own timing. He's setting up Steam almost past the half spot. So, Innovation definitely got the upper hand here. And double Oracle play is coming from Patience, but he really needs something to get back into this game. Otherwise, the timing will just straight up kill him, I fear.
Yeah, remember guys, that's only 2 Hellions. I mean, 11 probes for 4 Hellions would have been good, but that was only for 2 Hellions, so that's even double the I guess the cream on top. But here we go. Patience will go in with these 2 Oracles finally. Surprisingly, there's no turrets or Widowmine set up here to defend after scouting that Oracle early on. But ooh, nice stem does take out one of the. Yeah.
Second Oracle will survive and will get also a good amount of scouting information, but Patience isn't really well set up for this. Also gonna get the triangular base, of course. On Eternal Empire, you gotta expand here for your third base, and that's very exploitable from Terran player. That's one of the reasons this is widely considered to be a little bit of a Terran map. It's one of the reasons, at least. And it looks like Innovation is definitely gonna try to exploit this. That's a lot of adepts coming from Patience, by the way. It is a good way to counter a 2-1-1, but you really need something to snipe down those Medivacs, otherwise Innovation can just dance between the bases and get a lot of damage done. It looks like Innovation wants to try and steam here at the third. I'm not too sure about that. There are 2 shield batteries here. It's not gonna be easy. He loads up into the Medivacs just now. Gonna fly straight into the main, but there are so many Phoenixes waiting for him. Patience has done his homeworks here, and it looks like he has a way to counter those Medivacs. Innovation trying to find a way into this third base, but Patience, as of now, like a little bit of a perfect defense, I'd say. This Widowmine is also gonna go down without getting a shot. +1 infantry weapons almost done, but Patience is already trying to bite the tail of Innovation, sending 5 Phoenixes down the map, trying to get some damage done, and there is a lot of energy on those Phoenixes. Third command centers delayed, and right now Phoenix is also gonna pin Innovation in his own base. And here comes the Twilight Council. Looks like we're gonna have a Blink upgrade up soon to get a little bit more aggression, but this target play is paying off right now.
Yeah, usually when Protoss go for open for Phoenix, sometimes they would kind of transition to Colossus. So I actually find it pretty interesting that he is not going to go for Colossus. He's going to go for the kind of the mass gateway type of army composition. So we shall see Storm research pretty quickly. Now on the other side though, Innovation, he's kind of stuck on bow units. He doesn't really have anything else. I mean, he does have a few tanks here and there, but only 2 tanks, not really crazy scary.
It's gonna be a difficult defense for Patience here, but if he does defend this, I feel like it's basically game ending, since Innovation, it's 8 minutes and his third command center just finished. Like, it's been very late. He's been mining more than his opponent for quite a while. It comes a big fight. Sanctuary gonna keep up the force fields, leaving out the army of Innovation in a bad position. Another great round of force fields, and Innovation loses half of his own bio army without basically achieving anything. Tanks are setting up a little bit better now, but there are already a couple Archons. Revelation is gonna be dropped on the army of Innovation to keep track of it. And it looks like the Terran player is leapfrogging his tanks to get some nasty shot with those shield batteries still a little bit full on energy, and Patience is setting up the fight right here. He's gonna dive right now Those Phoenixes lifting up the tanks. The fight is great for Innovation. Well, it's great for Patience, sorry, and he's right now clearing out those Marines. But the few Archons he had are falling down. Actually, a steam forward from Innovation. He's gonna get way too much damage. Shield Barrier overcharge is gonna keep some of the units of Patience alive, but these are way too many Marines. It was a nasty timing indeed. The other tanks still alive. It looks like Patience has lost all of his Phoenixes. GG gets cold. And this was a nasty, crispy timing from Innovation. The game was definitely gonna go in his side. But in the end, great fight. And I really underestimated the prowess of his army.
Yeah, I mean, he had the +1/1 upgrade versus only the +1 of Patience, so it made his Bao army a bit tad stronger, and that really showed right there. I mean, a lot of his army was kind of invested into Marines, so all those Marines with those DPS was able to utilize that upgrade advantage and just overwhelm Patience. As Patience, a lot of his army was into those adepts earlier on. I think that kind of hurt him. I mean, of course he really needed it in order to survive the first attack, but it kind of slowed down his a bit of his tech, so didn't really have quite enough Archons to and charge lot. Well, I guess he had enough charge lot, but not a lot of Archons to do the splash damage on those Marines. So Innovation taking that fight convincingly, and we'll go up 1-0 of this best of 5 series.
I really like the way Innovation has played out that fight. Focus firing down the Archons just straight at the beginning, avoiding them to get any value from the shield barrier overcharge. And I really dislike how Patience stepped a little bit too far from his own shield batteries. Like, it's so important for those shield batteries to get value straight up before the army of Innovation gets a little bit too big for shield barrier overcharge to make a difference. The DPS out of those Marines was crazy high. He needed to have more Archons into the battle, and he lost them straight up. So it's up to Innovation, but Patience has really to step up his game.
Yeah, we shall see if the series can be tied here in this game number 2. But let's go ahead and introduce our lovely players.
We were in the top right hand corner here on Eisenchrome. You're looking at the base of the player who's won the first set of this series. I'm talking about the Blue Terran. It is Icy Gaming Innovation.
And spawning here at the bottom left, he is the guy representing Team LP. With the teal skin, it is Patience. Now, kind of at first look, it doesn't really help that both players are of similar shades of blue. you know, ideally want like something like red and blue, or green and red, or something like that. But yeah, we have one blue and one teal blue.
I mean, at least they're not the same race.
Yeah, that's true.
Zerg versus Zerg, it will be trouble.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Alright, Patience has chosen Ice and Chrome for the second map. I feel like he wants to practice a little bit of his macro play here on this series. It can be tricky to macro it down perfectly in this matchup for the Protoss. As you've seen, it really relies on not dying to a timing when it's about those big maps if you want to play a heavy gateway style. We've seen the Stargate opener. It quite worked out in the early game, but his tech was a little bit too delayed up here. We'll see how we will try to play it out here.
I'm wondering if Patience will go for that same Phoenix opening that he did for the last game. Didn't quite work out for him, but you got to remember he lost 11 probes at the beginning of the game. So imagine if he saved all 11 probes, or actually just lose a few of them, like maybe 2 probes instead of 11. How that game would have looked differently.
Yeah, that would have been definitely a different game. You see a very early Twilight Council coming down from Patience. So there's a 215 deck from him, probably gonna go into Planeswalkers. The Reaper gets sniped again. by Patience, by the way, is gonna get full control of the map again. And this time with Twilight Council Opener, he's gonna have that control for a little while longer. Eisenchrome, very big map, and Blinkstalkers tend to get a little bit less value on bigger maps because they cannot really block Medivacs from dropping. So I still feel like it's the best upgrade to get in the early game, but it's not gonna be as good as it would have been like on, let's say, Submarine.
Well, because the Innovation is going for that kind of that Widowmine drop, the Blink play should be able to allow him to at least snipe the Medivac, assuming he responds in time, of course.
Hallucinated Oracle coming from Patience to get the scouting. This is a very funny move. I'm not sure if Innovation is gonna be fooled by that. He gets the shot, the hallucination dies, and of course it's not gonna be tricked by this. Blink is coming. Innovation, just seeing that hallucinated Oracle, is probably thinking right now it's gonna be just Blinkstalkers, but he's still gonna go down his path, as you were saying, Widowmine drop to try and get damage, most of all to try and get scouting. There's a Robo coming from Patience as well. We will see how he will try to play this out. Third base being dropped as well. It's gonna be trying to get as much economical value as possible. And here comes an empty Medivac here. Just a little bit of a scare move, while the Widowmines wait for it to return.
That's an interesting play. Don't really see that.
Yeah, he was just checking out where the army was. I think, I don't know. The Observer is still following the Medivac, so Patience basically knows everything. Blink is 10 seconds from being done, and Inno is not really gonna get any scouting with this, it seems. There's a Raven coming from Innovation as well, and 2 more barracks. Looks like it's gonna be Bio from the Terran player, but Patience has quite a lot of vision right now. I don't think he can be fooled or blindsided very easily. There's also the first Immortal coming from the Teal Protoss, and Innovation just now halfway through his third command center, while Patience is setting up his own aggression. Oh, that's a lot of barracks.
Oh, that is quite a large amount of barracks. And this is 5 barracks before. Oh wait, actually no, he does have the third command center. So.
Oh yeah, okay, it is done. Yeah, well, it's pretty normal.
Yeah.
It's just slightly earlier than you think it's gonna be, but not by a far amount. Like, he has a Raven and a tank out. It's not like he's not gonna be safe. Like, with a Raven out and a tank out, like, there's basically no way he's gonna be punished for this.
Yeah, I mean, Innovation did scout the Blinkstalker opening, so I guess he just wants to make sure that he has enough army to move out, so that extra barrack production should have enough, amass enough units to finally move out.
Patience is trying to find some cheap shots, some little bit of damage before this orbital command lands here on the third base. That's quite a lot of damage. But in the end, he's only gonna get a couple Marines before he blinks out. And of course, he's gonna get his key upgrades. Oh, wait a second. Widowmine drop. 9 probes down. That was crazy good from Innovation again. Patience is gonna lose a lot of workers. But it's not as early as it was in the first game, so it's not gonna hit that bad. And he's at the third base for quite a long time, so it's just a minor halt to his economy. Right now, these Stalkers are gonna catch out Innovation moving through the map. Still gonna get a little bit of damage. There's one Colossus out as well, trying to get damage. Xenothermal Lance not done yet, so these tanks are gonna get 3 damage here on these Stalkers. One of them immediately falls, but Patience has a lot of information now, which is gonna be very, very useful. Right now, walking up this cliff, not a great idea. Marauders with concussive shells are gonna get 3 damage on top of the Stalker. The Colossus is almost done. And here comes a Blink, defensive one, to get out of there. This Colossus barely survives, then to die immediately after, but it seems like another Colossus is heading up, gonna die to these auto turrets, and this fight is awful from Patience. He's gonna get the tanks, he's gonna get the bio, but that Raven, true champion of this fight, these auto turrets, they so much damage. +1 is done, +1/+1. I mean, it's done for Patience, but these tanks are getting free damage right now, and the Marines can start hacking down the pylon here at the natural. The third base is a little bit locked out. He's gonna set up a surround to catch up this, the reinforcements coming from Innovation, and Patience need to sandwich this army to gain some value. Another Colossus is out trying to deal with this bio, but he's a lone Colossus. Real danger. Here comes the Stalkers clearing down the two tanks on the low ground. And Patience really struggling to keep this bio army out of his lone. Blinking forward to get down the tanks. He's got a lot of gateways, he can do that. But the second tank actually sieged up. He's gonna get so much damage. This bio army is still getting value. And it looks like the Colossus cannot get into the action. It's just Stalkers against this army. Blinking forward to get rid of the last few bio units. But it's not gonna work out in favor of Patience. 22 probes down here at the third base. And his army was cleared. The Colossi finally get into action, finally get down the tank, but there are two Vikings already, and these are dead Colossi without Stalkers to defend them. Here comes the Stalkers trying to deal with the Vikings, but there is a tank sieged out. It's not gonna work out for the Protoss player. Innovation still getting damage. He's gonna steam forward, try to end the game. Colossi go down, the Stalkers go down as well, and this is gonna be a GG. Innovation leads the series 2-0.
Oh man, such an unfortunate play there by Patience. The first kind of one Colossus move out, he got a lot of Marines taken out, only because the stim was not quite finished. It was like just barely finished, so he was able to kind of force feud, get a bunch of Marines. But after that, you gotta retreat, as a Protoss, because you gotta imagine that the stim is done, and with only one Colossus in the open space like that, the bio army can get on top of the Colossus fairly easily, and that's exactly what happened. He overstayed his welcome. Innovation was able to stim and get on top of the Colossus, take out one Colossus quickly, and then of course take out the second Colossus that was kind of rallied to the fight. And Innovation, after that, he just pretty much snowballed and was able to again win convincingly.
Like most players,
Death Aura, I think that's what she meant.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Okay. I really like how he played out with the Raven. It's a little bit unique for a Terran player to see like the auto turrets in this scenario instead of the interference matrix. So it was unique, but it was quite well done for me. Like those auto turrets got so much damage, 3 of them. Like you see most players just drop the interference matrix on the Colossi, the Protoss player retreats, and then you have to fight again. Like the only thing you get with the interference matrix is get your army into position. He decided to fight there and now with the Raven, and it paid out in the end. It was very well done. Like it's like again, it's something you don't see very often, and it proved out to be probably the best thing to do there. And I'm really quite surprised it worked out that well. I feel like it's a little bit of an error on Patience side to try and fight like there under the auto turrets, and the Raven surviving that many Stalkers was also a big thing for Innovation. So really well done by the Terran player.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's go ahead and start this game here on Death Aura.
We're in the bottom right hand side of Death Aura, as you were saying, where the blue Terran is spawning. Playing for Kazi Gaming, currently at match point in the specified semifinals. It is Innovation.
And spawning here at the top left corner of the map, he's the red Protoss player representing Team LP. He needs to go for a reverse all kill in order to come out of this semifinals. Can he at least get the first points on the scoreboard? It is Patience.
Man, if Innovation plays this good, it's gonna be quite hard for him to get even just one game out of the Terran player. Like, his performance today has been quite perfect. Talking about Innovation, of course. Like, everything was on time. Like, you don't expect any less from the robot, man. But we will see. So, Death Aura. It's quite a little bit of a different map from the first two we've seen. Do you expect him to go for something different as well?
Well, I mean, considering how the map is, like you said, is a bit different. I mean, there's those middle acceleration zones that will be able to kind of facilitate kind of the fast aggressive kind of pushes more easily. I mean, definitely in ZVP, you see Zerg players taking advantage of this, like going for possibly a fast roach push, because those roaches can travel quicker across the map. And I could definitely see Innovation doing that here. We seen those that deadly tank marine push that he has done the past two games. I think he can use this map, the advantages of this map, to kind of go for a kind of a tank marine push if he wants to.
Once more Innovation is gonna lose his Reaper without getting anything.
Jesus.
I'm really surprised by him. Like, he's the one player who's always gonna make his Reaper survive to anything at all times, and he's lost 3 in a row without getting anything done. Like, this Sentry over here is gonna get an hallucination, gonna get full scouting, while Innovation is not gonna know what the first piece of tech from Patience will be anytime soon. It's gonna be a Twilight Council, their standard opener for the matchup. So I doubt the Innovation will be caught with his pants down. But yeah, it's an uncharacteristic mistake from him to lose those Reavers this early.
Yeah, that's really curious because, you know, we do recognize Innovation as one of those players that has impressive and supreme micro. And to lose his Reaper 3 straight games in a row just like for nothing, that's a bit, quite a bit odd.
Yeah, I mean, he got a probe in game 1, but yeah, you prefer to keep the Reaper up for confirmation of tech rather than getting any kills, really. Lieutenant Phoenix is gonna get full scouting, as I was saying. Patience will know what is gonna come. It's gonna be a Widowmine drop. You saw the Widowmines, so it's gonna be probably well prepared for this. Blink halfway through, and he's gonna wait for those Medivacs to fly in. Right now, he's also gonna drop his third base here.
Stalker positioned into the main base, but this pylon should allow him to see the flying medevac if he's paying attention.
Yeah, he's waiting on the ramp to be able to react quickly. That's what he does. The medevac cannot get any damage right here. Of course, he's gonna get scouting. These robotics, they like really in a, I'd say, unfortunate spot, just underside of this medevac. That's even more confirmation for Innovation. And the medevac will just wait here for the right moment to strike, while Patience, a little bit of a move out through the map to try and start getting some value out of his Blink upgrade. And there is a Raven again from Innovation going through the map. So, interesting. I'm very interested to see how he will decide to play it out. Of course, it's probably going to be some auto turret harassment. But again, it's not something you see that often.
Yeah, I remember back in the day where I think auto turrets were much deadlier, and this was used to be like the standard opening play where you open with a Raven and just throw auto turrets into the mineral line over and over again. But they made auto turrets do a lot of damage still, but not last quite as long. So you don't really see this as much these days. But Innovation gonna go ahead and bring it old school, bring it back again here. Doesn't really get too much done. I think there's only a total of 1 probe kill throughout this whole game.
Yeah, a little bit of lost mining time, but in the end, it's not gonna be like super important. Innovation gonna move out to secure his third base, while Patience, of course, Planeswalkers again, just gonna get some tiny bits of damage here and there. Maybe snipe down a couple Marines, just one, gonna die. But in the end, it's more about the map control and the information. The Widowmine drop, gonna get a couple probes down. Nothing too greedy coming from Innovation. He's gonna keep his Medivac alive. He's gonna also lose both his Widowmines. And this Observer over here by Patience is gonna see everything happening. You know, you definitely want to scan this, because this Observer is very obnoxiously getting all the information Patience is ever gonna need.
Yeah, I mean, the longer this observer stays there, I guess the better chance he will be promoted to super pervert mode.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Innovation is gonna get all the pieces of tech he needs to get his timing attack as strong as possible. +1/+1 almost done, as well as Steam Pack. Can cast his shells halfway through. Not an upgrade that takes a lot of time to be done. And Patience setting up here at the third base location to get some more scouting information, while dropping down a fourth base of his own at the 7:30-minute mark. Gonna start out Extended Thermal Lance and the Colossus to try and deal with the Bio Army Innovation is sending through the map. And I just want to double check. Okay, yes, combat shields. So yeah, this is a scary army to deal with. 4 tanks for Innovation, while the Stalkers are gonna get some damage over here, but not too much. A Blame Forward is a little bit too cocky from Patience. These Stalkers are gonna find themselves trapped here at the third base location. Here comes the recall. He's probably gonna save almost all of them. Only 2 are gonna fall after the recall. But yeah, you need basically everything you can take from Innovation side to make this attack even deadlier.
All right. Colossus army gonna go ahead and try to intercept this army in the middle of the match to slow the push down just a tad.
It looks like at least he's gonna get full information about where the army is positioned for Innovation. But yet again, like, okay, he has a Disruptor out, but he really needs a miracle shot for these to work out. I feel like losing those Stalkers early on was a little bit of a bummer. He's sending up a surround with Zealots. Of course, with these rocks being up, the Army of Innovation is hardly surroundable. It looks like the Zealots are gonna go for the counter attack, while the Disruptors being there is a threat enough for Innovation to not commit into this. He's setting up another attack on the right side. The Terran player trying to split the base, the map in 2 different sides. It looks like Patience is gonna commit his full defense here on the right side. So Innovation is gonna leapfrog his tanks and attack this Nexus. Patience is gonna expand here at the 1 hour position. But Patience is gonna lose a Nexus for that. And half his army is desperately trying to get some damage without really accomplishing anything. Here comes the big fight. Disruptor shots won't get anything. Perfect interference Patience is on top of the Disruptors. We block those Novas from getting any damage. And right now Innovation is setting up those tanks for the big fight. The Colossi are getting so much value. The Bio Army of Innovation was going down so quickly, and this was a perfect fight from the Protoss. So many Zealots. No way those tanks can stay alive. And Innovation, after the perfect micro play, Interference Matrix on top of the Disruptors, is gonna lose all of his army with double upgrade advantage. This is a little bit of a bummer. Of course, right now he's starting +2 armor and +3 ground weapons. I'm talking about Patience, of course. But it's not like he can get any damage anytime soon. Innovation is gonna secure the 4th base, and Patience is gonna be dropping down his last piece of tech. It is a Dark Shrine. How many gateways is on right now? He's on 10 gateways. He's probably gonna add up a little bit more once his 4th base is up and running completely, even with 5th base, sorry. He's dropping down a 6th one as well. Like, Patience definitely wants to go for a little bit of a heavier gateway style. And you can see from the amount of zealots, yes, that he's already gone down that path.
Yeah, I mean he did win a really kind of a decisive fight, so he's feeling really confident to just mass expand, get some additional economy running to help produce all those gateway units. But oh, these Dew Colossus out here in the middle of nowhere. I think Innovation could have gotten on top of it though.
Yeah, with the Raven, he will definitely have got a good trade there. I think he was probably fearing that there were some Blink Stalkers behind that, ready to blink forward and snipe down his key units. Meanwhile, the Team Medivacs waiting in the top right-hand corner has got a drop going on here at the 4th base of Patience. Not gonna get a lot of damage, gonna just keep the army away for his own army to set up here in the middle of the map. But Patience has quite a lot of buy of gateway units, so he's gonna be a little bit more mobile than Innovation probably thinks as of now. Oh, the Raven! Oh, the Raven! Oh, he barely survives. A couple tank shots will kill the Stalkers that were threatening it. Meanwhile, a big counter attack coming from Patience. That's a lot of zealots here at the 3rd base of the Terran player. So many SCVs are gonna fall down. A couple tanks are also gonna be sniped down. Patience is losing a lot of zealots for this. Of course, taking the army of Innovation away and getting 21 SCVs, I'll take that over anything, any time of the year. But 3 more Disruptors are gonna be the way he's maxing it out again. Patience diving down on top of these tanks. Disruption Nova will go down on those, and the Colossi will clear everything standing. Innovation is gonna lose almost all of his tanks basically for nothing.
Yeah.
Another very characteristic mistake from him.
Yeah, I mean he kind of basically retreated his whole Bao army to help defend against that charge that run by. That left the tank wide open, so really nice of Patience to be aware of that and get on top of it before the Bao army rejoined up with the tanks. And now once again going for that Zealot run by, actually adding in the DT as well.
Yeah, that's so obnoxious. Like, I hate that. Like, you clear those zealots and you think, okay, I'm done with that, and then a Dark Templar kills 20 of your workers and you don't even recognize you're in danger. It looks like he's gonna go for a bunch of Archons, or maybe not. Will he keep those Dark Templars to deal with the tanks? Oh, that's interesting. Recall gets issued by Patience to keep these Medivacs away. Meanwhile, the Dark Templars are trying to get us around, but there is a Raven. Shadow Stride is done. Shadow Striding forward. Oh my god. Those tanks went down so fast. Dark Templars looks like they're a great army composition. It looks like Patience is gonna destroy the Army of Innovation, just Shadow Striding forward. And it looks like a scan is gonna be used here in the bottom left to deal with those Dark Templars before they can get a couple tanks down. Innovation is gonna win this little skirmish here at the 6th base of Patience, pinning him down to 5 base, but at what cost? Disruption Novas are gonna go on the workers, 7 SCVs down, a bunch of units will fall as well for Innovation, losing also a couple supply depots. And Patience is gonna retreat to fight another day. Those Dark Templars are getting the damage in.
Yeah, I think you know, we've seen plenty of games where the Protoss goes for that blink DT upgrade and they just like start just blinking everywhere, and it's just really hard because it's like it's kind of like a Widowmine drop. Like, you gotta respond like immediately. You gotta, like, if they blink on top of your planetary and they just snipe it, you can't lift it. You can't, first of all, you can't lift up the planetary, and then second of all, you gotta pay attention. Like, you gotta repair just like right away. And even then, it's not guaranteed you'll save the planetary because the DTs are just so powerful. They have such high attack damage.
Patience is just sending one Dark Temper behind the army of Innovation to get full scattering of it. Disruption Nova is not going to complete. Yeah, more Disruption Novas are coming, and a big one will hit. It looks like Innovation is still diving forward. He's going to get a lot of damage. Meanwhile, here in the bottom corner, it looks like Patience is doing exactly what you said. Shadow striding forward, 16 SCVs down, and the Planetary as well. But the main army of Innovation is still up and coming, getting here at the 6th space of Patience. He's gonna definitely kill that, as well as a bunch of probes, and Innovation can set up another big fight. He doesn't have a lot of army, but still, this is a scary army, scary amount of tanks, while Patience is fully going ham on top of his opponent, trying to get damage here through the map, blinking forward on top of those tanks, and these Shadow Strike Dark Templars are getting so much damage so quickly. The most important pieces of production for Innovation are under attack right now. Meanwhile, the rest of the army of Perfect Purification Nova will get a lot of damage done. Meanwhile, another round of units is gonna be worked in by Patience to seal the deal. He's got a game, guys, and we got a series. GG, call from Innovation. 2-1 is the scoring. What a game from Patience.
Yeah, what a game. That was a beautiful, beautiful play. Mixing in with the blink DTs, as well as just the fact that he was expanding everywhere in the mid game, so, like just pretty much everywhere across the map, his half side of his map. That made the base trade in favor of him, because that means more bases that Innovation would have had to taken down. And then he also used the Disruptor Novas to dwindle the army of Innovation. So yeah, that was just a beautiful, beautiful play there by Patience.
And I always like when the Protoss player gets that Dark Shrine a little bit earlier than most games. He remembers it, he gets Shadow Stride, and he starts getting damage outright as soon as it is done. I feel like it can be such a strong and powerful play, and we've seen it when Patience decide to dive with his Dark Temples on top of the army of Innovation. I feel like that was the decisive moment in which Innovation kind of got way too behind. So we're on Submarine now, a very, very different map once more. And we will see how those two guys will try to play it out.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and do the honors of introducing our first player here?
In the top left hand corner, playing for Team LP, spawning as the Teal Protoss player. Just got his first game of the series. Needs 2 more in a row. Let's see if he closes the deal or if his opponent will sweep him out. It is Patience.
And spawning here at the bottom right, he is the red Terran player, 1 game away from clinching the series. Can he do it? He is from Team Kaizi Gaming. It is Innovation.
Alright, first map chosen by Innovation in the series after losing that set. It's gonna be Submarine. And knowing how strong his timing attacks are, I'm not very surprised he's chosen the shortest map of them all. So Patience gotta come prepared into this. He's gotta play very defensively. Otherwise, Innovation can just outright kill him with a 1-1 timing.
I just noticed this like caution sign here, just like near the barracks on the cliff area.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I still like most of these maps, like Reaper Cliffs, are getting more and more different every map. Like I remember everything started with how was it called, like Acropolis, the map that had like the bar where there was a Reaper Cliff. Like there was a bar with some tables and some umbrellas and stuff. So, that was a cool one. But the map makers are getting their fantasy into these Reaper Cliffs. Oh. I can't believe that word.
Wow, camouflaging with those bushes.
I can't believe that word. Okay, these Reapers are getting way more stupid than they used to be. It looks like finally one of the Reapers will survive for innovation. That isn't supposed to be. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. It survived. Patience decided to go for the Adept this time. He wants to get some early scouting. Of course, it's going to be way more important here on Submarine than any other map. Same for the Reaper. Staying alive, ready to get some more information.
You know what? I really like this decision by Innovation to actually make the command center on the high ground, knowing that this map is pretty short and the depth can shade across the map really rather quickly. That's a really nice kind of adaptation to make sure he doesn't lose or get delayed in terms of making that command center. And look at here, we have a proxy gateway. What do you think this is for?
Well, I really think this is a blink timing. Patience going full partying this game, I feel. Yeah, Talakantil gets dropped. Oh, we rinse for some action here.
There's actually no bunker here too. Ooh. This is gonna be a bit scary here for Innovation. He's gonna have to make sure he doesn't lose his Marines to these stalkers here.
He's already losing a couple. The fight is going in favor of Patience right here. Like every single Marine count, as you were saying, and all the Adept very low. He needs to cancel the Shade. He does not cancel the Shade. He will go down immediately. This Stalker still getting some damage. It looks like he's trying to overwhelm Innovation right here. Patience still having 3 Stalkers. 4 actually coming in this Reactor Barracks. It's not gonna get much done with this big supply block that Innovation is having right now. Supply Depot is finishing right now. 2 of the workers will fall down. Innovation needs to pull a couple of those to keep his Marines alive. There's 1 Marauder as well with this. The Widowmines are trying to get into position. One of them is going to immediately fall. One of the Stalkers will fall for it. Actually, 2 of them. These SCVs have done a good job at keeping the attention of the Stalkers away, getting a little bit of damage. It looks like in the end, Patience is still going to get a very good trade. The first Medivac comes out, but right now, Patience warping in 2 Stalkers at a time. The bunker, it is done. One of the Stalkers, actually 2 of the Stalkers will die for nothing for Patience. That's a little bit of a bummer. While Innovation is setting up his Widowmine drop. And that will force Patience to keep a bunch of units back home. There is a shield battery, but shield batteries don't defend against Widowmine drops. So Patience is gonna retreat with his Stalkers. And for now, his aggression has been deflected.
Yeah, I think that's a lesson of the day, guys. Make a bunker early on as a Terran, because that kind of threat there is always possible. Especially again, like I said, this map is pretty short, so Stalkers can just run across the map rather quickly.
A little bit of a lazy Widowmine drop, like that Widowmine like stayed unburrowed for a lot of time into the main. Could have got so much damage, but it didn't. Only 3 probes will fall down. Both Widowmines will die for this. And Innovation will finally see the proxy with this. Another Medivac flying with 2 Widowmines in. He's gonna kill these procs before he can get any more damage. But Patience still has quite a lot of Stalkers. He's gonna adapt Charge to his upgrades even before dropping any other tech after the Twilight Council. But he's getting quite a good fight over here. Widowmines trying to keep these Stalkers away. Right now, Innovation steaming forward on top of these Stalkers. The fight is gonna go in favor of the Terran, it seems. And Innovation needs to keep his Stalker count high enough to deal with this. Recall gets issued to deal with the Medivac. It looks like the Widowmines are gonna be the first targets. Oh my god, that's a great shot.
Oh, that's
8 ropes down. Oh, yikes.
That is heartbreaking because he responded in time. He had his recall down. And he was about to. He basically spreaded his probe, but he kind of got lazy, then spread the one towards the left side, and that's where the Widowmine was targeted at. So, that was tough for Patience.
He probably felt like there was only one Widowmine to be dropped, so he defended against that, and it felt like he was done. But he really wasn't. 5 more gateways added by Patience. Okay, Patience going full gateway, man, as Artosis will put it. I don't know how many of you watch Artosis stream, but yeah, it's funny. But Protoss, oh, Widowmine in a natural. Oh, 4 more probes down. And Innovation really getting a lot of value out of those Widow Mines, which is especially good against this heavy gateway style.
Yeah, and you know what? All of a sudden, the worker lead is in favor of Innovation. Now, remember, early in the game, Patience was doing a lot of damage, economic damage. Was able to use those stalkers to not only snipe off the Marines, but also snipe off some SCVs. He enjoyed a kind of a 9 or 10 so worker lead at that point. But with these Widowmine drops, he's pretty much evened it, and probably also ahead if you add in the meals. But here we go, a little bit of a skirmish here out in the middle of the map. But a lot of his sentries are low in life. You got to be careful not to lose them. You want to use them.
A lot of energy. Like, this was a little bit of a fight from Patience. Like, he needs way more units right now. He needs to add up more warp paints. He needs to add up a couple pylons as well, because he's heavily supply blocked right now.
Yeah, what a horrible time to be supply back right now.
Yeah, definitely. Patience is gonna add up another proxy gateway to be able to set up a sandwich, and here comes the Zealots trying to get on top of the tanks, but it looks like in the end the Stalkers are gonna be everything that matters. A blame forward that was a little bit too cocky. Patience, he's gonna lose his whole army in a second. What was that, Patience?
I have no idea. We all know, you know,
Oh.
Patience has been known for his aggressive blink play, and that's the reason why it's you don't see a lot of Protoss do that. Only Patience does that, where he would just blink into a losing engagement, and that left all his sentries, of course, open, and that was pretty much GG there.
Yeah, that was a little bit sad. Like, I felt like the game was still basically even. Like, maybe not super even. Innovation clearly had an advantage there, but Patience had the means to come back into that game, and he just simply decided to blink on top of a bunch of Marines and die.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe they were on a suicide mission or something, but yeah, that was not the smartest play. But you know what, well done there by Innovation. Was able to pull out the win after going kind of being behind in the early game. Now he does advance to the finals with a 3-1 win in the semifinals, and he will face the winner of the next semifinals, which will be between Solar and Dream.
Yep. All right.
All right. Let's get that kind of all set up. But I guess before that, I guess we'll take a little bit of a break here, and then yeah, we'll get started with our next semifinals. Make sure you don't go anywhere. Grab your drinks, go to the bathroom, grab your snacks, whatever you need, and after that, we'll get started with our game number 1 between Solar versus Dream. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
Patience. I bet he wished he did go for the Oracle this time around, though. The Thor. What is the Thor doing here? How often do you see a Thor this early in the game instead of something like a siege tank? Okay, in he comes right now. This Thor with a bunch of SCVs ready to repair it. There's a lot of adepts right there on the right side. I think the adepts should do okay against Thors, right? I don't see Thors that often in TVP, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. This is a very committed build here for Cure, bringing a lot of those SCVs with him. And we'd love to see the medevac as well repaired here. As the, you know what, as that gets picked up for Thor as well. Will fall, although, you know what, it's going to be difficult to pick that up. So I think he's going to be okay. Status Trap not quite finding the greatest amount of units, but it might be enough for him to find a favorable trade here. Let's see what he targets down first. A lot of targeting on that Thor right now, and also a lot of targeting on other stuff, so I'm not quite liking the way Patience took that fight. I would have loved to see him actually either targeting down the SCVs or targeting down the Thor, but or the SCV, I mean, well, SCVs or even the Marines there, right? Let's come in here with more adepts though on the other side. Is this the right call? Nope. The GG is called. Didn't have the stuff anymore, and here with a crazy build. The SCV, but it should be taken down nicely here. Need to see a cancel on that bunker. There we go. The other one's still going strong, of course, though. And let's see if there's enough links. There should be. Oh my dear lord. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. It's a big surround here. Just go straight for the Marines. Actually, the micro on the Marines is pretty darn insane. Right here, targeting down all of those Zerglings. And oh my dear lord, suddenly we have only Marines remaining. I really thought this was going to be a surround, but instead we're seeing these Marines now rushing towards the bunker. A big block though with that Queen and the drones just barely being able to safeguard the front door for now. Needs to be able to get these. Oh my dear lord, are you kidding me? One single Marine only being able to enter the bunker here. 10 workers went down. That in itself is a crazy amount. And here, I mean, he has another bunker here. One Marine also being able to enter into that one. Oh my god, gonna get the salvage as well. Are you kidding me? Gonna kill this Queen here. No problem. Man, this is a very strong start here for Kure. Sees that the army is on the low ground there near the third base. Runs a little bit of a pathway for the War Prism to deploy a bunch of those zealots. And oh my dear lord, look at that warping right there in the main base. The Stalkers here jumping right on top of that siege tank, trying to take advantage of this situation. And I mean, doing a pretty good job so far. Does manage to get the command center here up in the sky. The Blink Stalkers may want to just continue onwards with their onslaught here into the main base. The Zealots as well, providing a good buffer for some more Zealots being warped in continuously. And Zest, you know what? He has stopped producing anything. This is actually quite a committed attack here. Let's see if it's gonna pan out in his favor. The Zealots, oh great Widowmine hit there though. Let's see what is still remaining. There's still a siege tank and a Widowmine on the low ground there, and the siege tank hasn't been shooting at all whatsoever. You know what, guys? I think Zest may be doing this. GG is called.
All right, welcome back, guys. Hope you grabbed your drinks, grab your snacks, because we're about to get started with our next semifinals. And looks like they got all the vetoes done, and it looks like Golden Wall will be our first map of the series.
I'm actually very surprised by this.
Yeah, whoever chooses Golden Wall, right?
Yeah, like the first map, weird.
lot of weird things happening today. First, we got Innovation losing Reapers left and right for the first 3 games. And then now we have Golden Wall as our first map chosen.
Alright, starting off. As we were saying on Golden Wall for this ZVT series, and I'm gonna call it right here, right now, Nidus.
Well, you know what? That kind of lines up with Mr. Chairman in the chat saying anyone choosing Golden Wall is up to no good. So we can definitely see some Nidus play coming up. And you make a great point. And Nidus is actually a pretty good strategy to do on this map, actually.
I feel like me and Mr. Chairman are on the same vibe here because I really feel like Solar is up to no good. But let's start off with the introductions. Oh my god. Okay, let's do this real quick. Here in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Wall is a Blue Terran player, and he's up to no good for sure. It is Brave Star Gaming Dream.
And spawning here at the bottom left corner of the map is the red Zerg player from Kaizi Gaming. He may be up to no good, but we shall see. It is Solar.
And Mafishian in the chat, please no Swarmos. I feel like your desire is gonna be fulfilled because there won't be any time for Swarmos. There is a 2 Rex proxy coming from Dream, and we will see how Solar will react to this. Overlord sending out to scout any possible proxy, scout any SCV coming, and Marines as well. But Solar is gonna go for an Hatch Gas Pool opener. So he's gotta be able to react with drones as well with this. And you know what? It's not easy to defend against those type of proxies, but we're on Golden Wall. It's a pretty huge map. This is not gonna hit as early as Dream will probably like this to hit.
Oh, the Overlord does get scout and notice of the kind of the weird pathing in which that SCV came, and now he's gonna have to pull some not SCVs, drones to get on top of that bunker.
Just one drone coming here. This bunker is definitely gonna finish, but Solar will not cancel his archery, starting it off 6 links, 2 queens. We will see if he's gonna be able to defend with this. Probably making some counter groups with his drones to react with this as well. And Dream has his bunker set up here in the natural of Solar. And the links are trying to stay alive coming out of the natural. Another bunker gets dropped by Dream. He's starting to send out those Marines out, trying to deal with this archery as quick as possible. First queen is gonna be out in just a second. The one in the main is gonna be out as well. And Solar needs to keep this alive. It's not gonna be easy. Here comes the links. But this queen is under attack. Oh, barely surviving, not injecting this archery. A quick tumor gets dropped by Solar. An interesting play, but this archery is definitely going down. I don't think like he has enough links to actually deal with the bunkers right now, and Solar already taking some pretty heavy losses over here. He's gonna save up one of his queens. That's already pretty good. 2 overlords coming to avoid this supply block from being too intense. This is already a very good start for Dream.
Yeah, now some people might be wondering why didn't Solar pull the drones? Well, I think it's because this map, unlike other maps, does have a backdoor base. So if the Zerg wants to, he can just sack the natural and just go for the backdoor base instead. Some maps don't have a backdoor base. That kind of forces the Zerg to either commit to the defense or just tech up into like Swarm Host or a Nidus Roach play or something like that. But yeah, this map definitely kind of playing into the decision of Solar not pulling those drones to defend that natural.
This has to be one of the most clever responses I've ever seen to our proxy Rex on Golden Wall. Solar mined out the central wall to get his links up into action in the main of Dream. Of course, there were supply depots blocking out the way, so Solar won't get any damage with those links, but he's still gonna have his natural. He's gonna have a lair as well. and he's gonna get another gas, and he's gonna get a Nidus network. He's definitely gonna get a Nidus network.
I mean, that's I mean, we'll see. This that layer is about to be done, so as soon as that layer is done, it's gonna kind of give us an indication as to what Solar's gonna go for. But oh, he's gonna go ahead and get on top of these two retreating SCVs, so at least getting some damage done.
Oh, the Aliens are getting into actions. You don't want to lose those links. Those are very important Zerglings. The lair is done. It sees a Spire being dropped by Solar.
Ooh.
Base Spire. Gonna get the two next extractors in the natural. And that's a very well thought out spot to get a Spire as well. It's not gonna be easy for Dream to scout it. Queens are in position to avoid those aliens from getting too close to the drones. Meanwhile, Dream still has his bunkers over here. He's gonna salvage one. I feel like it's the best decision to probably salvage both. He doesn't need them there at this moment in time. And the Spire is halfway through. Spire takes a long time before being done. So Solar needs to keep those Queens there. He's well, let's call it natural. He's injector right now. Balin has been dropped as well. It's gonna be Lean Bane Muta play on two bases. Very interesting game plan from Solar.
Alright, looks like Dream is ready to attack the front. But oh man, the Spire's just about to be done, so he doesn't have quite enough units as he was saving a bit to invest into those initial Mutalisks.
Yeah, and 4 Mutas are gonna come, but there are a bunch of Elbats here being moved in by Dream. Gonna get the Spine Crawler down, and this is a perfect play from the Terran player. Right now, attacking the spawning pool. No more Queens, no more Zerglings, it's just Mutas for the defense. Dream on top of the lair right now, on top of the links, on top of the drones, on top of the Queens, on top of everything. Queens falling down, the first few Mutas are gonna come out, but these Marines are deadly to them. The first few links are gonna come back, no Banelings being morphed from Solar. This is GG. And Dream is gonna get game number 1 of the series. Nasty proxy play and a well done timing attack. Close and seal the deal.
Oh, that was so nasty. Oh my god, what a timing. And I think I'm gonna have to agree with Dimizer in the chat. Sorry if I butchered your name. But yeah, Spire I don't think was the best idea. I mean, I guess on paper it would have been he would have been able to execute it, but he would have needed Dream to kind of play passive while the Spire goes up and the Mutalisks get produced, and he was able to start harassing. But I mean, he doesn't really have much before then, especially losing that hatchery at the natural. So yeah.
It's always very hard to deal with those proxies, and the way Solar was thinking about dealing with it was very clever, but in the end Dream also had a well thought out game plan, and he just ended the game as soon as he got the chance. That was very clean from the Terran player.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, okay, the Miser is how you pronounce it. Okay, thank you for the clarification. All right, let's get started in this game number 2 here on Ice and Chrome.
We're in the top right hand corner, looking at the base of the blue Zer player, playing for Kaizi Gaming, hailing from Korea. It is Solar.
And spawning here at the bottom left, it is the red Terran player from Brave Star Gaming. It is Dream.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Another double proxy Rex coming from Dream. And this time Solar, oh no, please, no way.
Oh no, okay, there we go. Oh, I was about to say, man, that was probably going to be the unluckiest scout pathing, but luckily he does scout in that dark area.
And that's already a very good thing coming from Solar. He can get an SCV or maybe 2 killed before they can get any bunker done. Of course, this positioning is very well thought out from Dream, who's just been a little bit lucky with the RNG with these SCVs hiding in the perfect spots to avoid those drones from getting damaged. More SCVs were put out into the action from Dream to cut out the drones, but it looks like Solar won't get any SCV. It was very lucky from Dream, I have to be honest there. Having those SCVs exactly where he needed them, and the drones have to back off. Of course, they're faster than the Marine, so they will be able to retreat. But more drones are gonna be pulled. It looks like Solar this time is gonna be trying to block this bunker from ever existing. Here, attacking the bunker, gonna be cancelled by Dream. A lot of SCV, a lot of drones are put into the action though, so that's already damage being dealt by Dream. Of course, Dream as well is losing quite a little bit of time and resources for this. 2 bunkers are gonna be dropped, but there are already 3 Marines attacking this archery right here, right now. The drones are here, ready to be pulled once the first few Queens and Lings are out. Here comes the pull, here comes the army, here comes Solar, getting on top of the Marines and getting them away from these bunkers. A clean surround coming from Solar. Dream gets out of that just in the brink of time he needed, but one of the SCVs is gonna fall. The second one is gonna barely complete this bunker. Good play by Dream. The first Queen is out, and right now Solar has to retreat back into defensive stance, and Dream has accomplished his proxy. The bunker is in position, and the army of Solar needs to be completely pulled. He's gonna be able to deal with this by losing a lot of drones. First bunker is gonna go down right here, or maybe not. Too many Marines, too many drones are lost, too many Lings are down, and it looks like it's gonna be another GG call by Solar. Dream 2-0 in this series, gonna go to match point.
Man, that 2 racks build is so deadly. I think there was a saying that build just like almost never loses. You can see why. Solar scouting that really early still was not able to defend it.
Execution was incredibly clean for Dream. Of course, getting a little bit of our RNG luck with the SCV positioning on those barracks, being able to save themselves from the drones. But in the end, everything that came after that was perfectly thought out for Dream. And I have to say, like, it was looking pretty damn dominant.
Yeah, Sushi in the chat saying Solar is quite poor against proxies. He loses a lot to them. All right, that's good to know. I wouldn't be surprised if Dream pulled another 2 racks in the 3rd game. That would be pretty funny, actually.
That would be a yikes from me. But we will see. Players are ready. A little bit of a banter in the chat in Korean. I don't understand Korean, I'm sorry. But of course, Solar is probably saying something about those proxies, being quite not happy for how those first 2 games were played out. We're on Death Aura now. Let's see what the 2 players are up to.
All right.
All right. We're in the top left-hand corner. This guy over here, spawning as the Green Terran, is 1 game from making into the finals after the double proxy play in 2 games in a row. He's gonna try to bring it on with a complete, full, clean sweep against his opponent. Playing for Braystar Gaming, it is Dream.
And spawning here at the bottom right. Down 0-2, looking to change his fortunes. He's the red Zerg player from Kaizi Gaming. It is Solar.
Alright, the risk of a TVT finals is increasing by the second. Dream not gonna proxy this time, but Solar sending his overlords in a full proxy scouting pattern.
Yeah, he's got to be paranoid about proxy barracks right now at this point, right?
Definitely. He wasn't looking clean against those. Dream is gonna set up to a standard play here in game number 3. And we will see how Solar will decide to play this off. Hachka's pull coming from him. I'm actually surprised he didn't go for a 16 pull this game, which is supposed to be the way you try to play the series when you get proxied a little bit too many times. But in the end, it's gonna play out in his favor, since Dream not going for anything aggressive this time.
Yeah, we might finally get our first standard game here. And I would say it will probably favor Solar in the long run if it was a macro standard game, because I feel like he tends to do pretty well. I mean, especially I think in the mid game as well, Solar tends to kind of flex his muscles and plays really well there.
And we have a Clash opener coming from Solar, so gonna skip one overload to get the third archer a little bit quicker. Gonna pull drones off gas at 60 instead of 100, but his upgrade is gonna come on perfectly on time. This is a build that is coming back into trend, something that wasn't quite played out for a lot of time. Most players are actually standardizing up to this in the matchup, and I really like it. Third archer is gonna be a little bit earlier. You're gonna start mining out more minerals a little bit earlier, and there's really basically almost no downside to this.
Everyone in the chat kind of already debating between the Innovation versus Dream match here. I mean, you know, give Solar a chance. Tall order to come back and win 3 straight, but
If there's one player who can do this, it's definitely Solar.
yeah, for sure.
Like, he's one of those players who isn't really scared about going behind in a series. So, looks like Dream is gonna do a way better job at keeping his Reaper alive compared to Innovation. Gonna get a lot of scouting, and also gonna kill a Crypt Tumor at the natural of Solar. Gonna keep those queens from moving quickly for a little bit of time. But of course, Solar with the Clash opener is gonna have an easy time getting to a comfortable amount of drones. But Dream dropping down the Fusion Core is definitely, again, up to no good here on Defora.
I feel like he found what that Harry Potter map and said, "I solemnly swear that I am up to no good."
Yep. Definitely, of course, this overload speed coming from Solar is gonna be the key about dealing with this. Gonna scout out the starport and the Fusion Core and the third command center. He knows exactly what is coming, when it's coming, and what is coming after that. So, perfect scouting from Solar. He's gonna react immediately, dropping down a lair, waiting for probably, I'd say, 4 to 5 Spore Crawlers being dropped down as well, and doubling down on the Queens as well to deal with the Battle Cruisers and the Hellbats if they're gonna come anytime soon. There's no armory, so no Hellbats for now. These aliens, of course, cannot commit, but more are coming, and the first Battle Cruiser is halfway through. Yamato Cannon, weapon refit is the upgrade chosen by Dream. We will see how he will decide to play this out. Oh, 2 more factories. We're in Mech Town, guys. Ooh.
Ah, I love this.
Okay, the lair is done.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, just was saying that probably a Spire is gonna be dropped.
Oh, yep.
soon.
There we go. Spire has been dropped.
And the amount of queens is still yet not comfortable for Solar. Of course, no armory means these Hellbats cannot really fight the queens. But the first Battle Cruiser is already teleporting right into the main. Weapon refit is done, and this Battle Cruiser can easily deal with the Spore Core if he decides to do so, or at least one of the queens. The Spire is under attack right now. Weapon refit was actually cancelled and restarted by Dream. Here comes the cancel of the Spire as well. That's a big bummer for Solar, who's gonna be having real trouble dealing with those Battle Cruisers without that Spire for a little while longer. Weapon refit is gonna be started again. The second Battle Cruiser is coming out in a little bit, and already this one has got 2 queens, 2 drones killed and 1 queen. But the kill on the Spire was actually the most important thing he has done.
Yeah, that delays the Corruptor and Mutalisk tech, so it's gonna be a quite delayed there, and he's gonna go ahead and research Yamato Cannon as well, while his second Battle Cruiser is about to pop out.
Alright, The Spire under attack again. This time the Queens are in position. Battlecruiser very bruised, 52 HP. The second one though is gonna warp in right here. Tactical jump on top of the Queens. One of them goes down immediately. One of the Battlecruiser is very bruised, but he's not scared. 34, 28 HPs. The second one is gonna get skill damage. Transfuses are clutch on top of those Queens, but one of them is indeed gonna fall anyway. Dream still getting up with the damage. The Spider finally completes, and these Battlecruisers need to retreat back into safety. The Hellions were dealt with, and looks like Dream is gonna be dealing with a bunch of Lings right now. Of course, Hellions are back home right here to deal with the Lings, but 17 mutas. Solar was keeping a lot of resources to deal with this, and 17 mutas can fight a lot of Battlecruisers. Very quickly, Yamato Cannon cannot complete on top of one of the mutas. Battlecruiser down, and Solar is ready to counterattack.
Yeah, he's been under fire throughout pretty much this whole game, and now it's his turn to put on the pressure on Dream, and it'll be up to Dream to see how he can defend against these Mutalisks. He does have some Widow Mines and turrets spread across the bases, so we'll see if he can. Oh, this turret though is pretty much undefended there.
That's a very comfortable amount of mutas to fight basically everything. One of these Battlecruiser half HPs, but it looks like the mutas want to just knock down the key units.
Oh.
Here comes the Lings! The wall is down, and that's devastating damage already. Mutas getting on top of the tanks, getting on top of the aliens. This Battlecruiser will never go down, but 15 SCVs, 17 SCVs, 21 and counting, I'll definitely take it. And it looks like Solar, with a 40 workers advantage, is gonna bring itself into a very comfortable position into this game 3.
Man, imagine if he did not have his supply wall down and kind of block these Lings from going in. He would have been so in a great position with the multiple.
That's a brave queen.
Wow, that was, yeah, that queen was very brave.
Yeah, you can never say that queen wasn't brave. Anyway. Alright, Mutas fighting down these missile turrets easily, bringing down one. And I like this +1 air attack getting into action. +2 just started. There are 2 force out, so this will be a hard time for the Mutas to fight out. But in the end, just take a look at the resources lost. That in the end, like, every single engagement was in favor of Solar, getting way more resources out of Dream, even after losing 7 mutas. Billings coming down. Ooh, scary time for Dream. A lot of SCVs go down, and still a lot of Billings are surviving this. And yeah, 12 SCVs down. Again, 50 workers advantage Solar on 6 bases. This is a disaster for Dream. He can definitely not keep up with the aggression that Solar is putting in. Solar can sacrifice half his army and still be ahead right now.
Yeah, he needs like a couple, not just one miracle fight to go his way. I mean, at this point, I think the best chance for Dream right now is just to hang on as much as he can and just push it to the late game where there's a 200 army versus 200 army fight. But I'm not even sure Solar is going to allow him to go there.
Definitely not. You know that a Xur player is ahead when he's fighting Thors, Battlecruisers, and Widow Mines with Mutalisks. That's when a Xur player is so ahead that he just simply doesn't care. Solar doesn't care at all, and he gets game number 3 of the series. Ooh, what a game from Solar.
Yeah, and that's the game he really needed, because he was down 0-2. He needed a game to kind of bounce back up. And unlike the first 2 games, it wasn't a 2 racks opening. So, like I said, I think if it kind of goes into a more standard macro game, it's going to favor Solar a bit more than Dream. I think if Dream wants to close it out, he might have to pull out another cheese. Go back to the proxy 2 racks, as Mr. Chairman suggests in the chat.
Yeah, like, this game was a full power show out of Solar, just flexing his muscles. and dealing with Dream against one of the build orders that most Zerg players struggle the most against. Solar has shown us that even after losing that Spire, he simply doesn't care. Like, that was a perfect game. Like, I'm super incredibly surprised by how well Solar has dealt with that, even after being in a very disadvantageous spot. And I really didn't like Dream Console in Weapon Refit. But we will see.
Yeah, we shall see. And Mr. Chairman asking, what's the next map? Well, here we go. It's going to be on Submarine.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner as the Green Terran, he's still at match point. He's still gonna be in a very good spot in this series. Playing for Brave Star Gaming. It is Dream.
And spawning here at the bottom right from KaiZ Gaming. He's the Red Zerg. Looking to tie up the series. Can he do it, guys? It is Solar.
Once more, Solar sending his alerts to scout for any proxies. Dream looks like he's not gonna go into any aggressive early game style right now. I'm still expecting him a timing. We're still on Submarine. Timings are, of course, way harder to deal due to the short rush distance. But in the end, Solar is one of those players who can really react in a strong way against timing. He's one of those players who will just go into roaches, defeat your timing, counterattack, and kill you. I feel like that's the scenario in which Solar thrives the most. So I'm actually curious about how Dream will decide to play out this game.
Well, this map I think has a lot of kind of choke points because of the rocks. I think if you can siege up some tanks behind those rocks, you can get a pretty nice kind of positioning on the Zerg basis. But again, like you said, this map is pretty small. So I think on Solar's end, he can definitely have the option to go for maybe a fast, like maybe 2-3 base roach rush with a link speed behind that as well. I think he could definitely make it work, but we shall see. We shall see.
It is again a clash opener from Solar. Gonna get a little bit more mining and the archery quicker to avoid the Reaper getting any damage. And of course, the only downside is getting link speed a little bit later than usual. Still gonna be in time to deal with the Hellions. So as I was saying, I like this build order a lot. I feel like it's way better than the standard 19 overload style.
I gotta say, Dream these past few games has been saving his Reapers and microing his Reapers a lot better than Innovation in that first series.
Definitely better. I'm not gonna get a Crypt Tumor this time, it's just gonna get one Zergling. Of course, the dance between the Reaper and the Zergling hardly matters in the big scheme of things. But it's still a good way to get your muscles, like your memory down, like being ready, your rhythm and everything down the right path. So Dream is gonna go for what looks like a standard 1-1 build loader, 1-1-1 build loader with Hellions ready to go for the harassment. So Solar, on the other hand, it looks like he's not going for anything off the book right now, and he's not going for that over speed, it looks like, or maybe not yet. He probably wants to keep up his scouting, so I'm expecting him to actually get over speed this game as well. It worked out wonders in game number 3, so why not do that again, right?
Well, it looks like he's not gonna go for it thus far. I think the timing has passed for that, but it looks like he's gonna invest the gas into probably a quicker lair or something. Well, I guess right now he's just worried about defending this big push here.
Yeah,
making
that's
18.
very scary. Okay,
Yeah.
Dream Hellbats and Marines ready to push out. There are 4 Queens out, and a bunch of Lings are getting into position. But this could be deadly. 40 more Lings incoming. These Queens trying to fight down the Hellbats. They need to spread out, otherwise their damage can get way too high. Right now, those Hellbats, of course, fighting the Queens and not the Lings, works in favor of Solar. And it looks like the Lings are getting into position to deal with the Marines. Meanwhile, a counter-attack is dealing some damage from Solar. The main army of Dream has been clean. Only 2 Hellbats left standing. And 5 SCVs have fallen down. The Liberator fighting down this Overload. It's gonna also give Solar some interesting scouting information. While one Hellion was angrily staring down that Overload as the Liberator killed it.
Yeah, that was like as perfect a defense as you can ask for. Didn't even lose a single drone there, and saved the majority of his queens. So if in the case if Dream did go for a battle cruiser follow up, then he would have been able to use the queens to defend against that. But it looks like he's just going to go ahead and go for a bio transition as he's throwing down 2 more racks, getting the stim. Stim is almost done. And oh, another Ling run by here.
Yeah, and it's already getting some damage. One of the mule has been killed, was a fresh mule as well. But like, it's gonna be a spike drop by Solar. In the end, what Dream has accomplished is forced out a lot of units out of Solar. You expect that when a Zerg player has been forced out a lot of units, he just needs to do something with them. And most of the times it just fails. But Solar was able to get 5 SCV kill and a couple mules as well. So in the end, Solar was able to do something with the extra units he made. And that has worked perfectly for him. Like, the only thing Dream was able to do was force out units, but those units paid off for themselves for Solar. So Solar is in a great spot right now. He's having some Banelings here for defense. The Liberator is getting some damage. Gonna get 3 drones killed, not too many. While 1 Medivac is ready to drop down a couple of Hellbats and try to get some damage. But the Spire is almost done. And Solar getting Baneling speed as well. It is not looking great. The Medivac actually goes down for Dream. These Hellbats are just gonna get a couple drones, I feel like, not more. Yeah, just 2 actually. Exactly 3 drones have gone down. Not worth it, a Medivac and 2 Hellbats.
Yeah, I probably should have retreated at that point, especially since there's no Mealist to snipe the Medivac too. But he took the risk. It was a relatively, I mean, I guess it wasn't too much of an expensive risk. It was just
No, it wasn't, but Dream is really not in the position to lose anything right now. Like, having 1 more Medivac with his push right now would have been very important for him.
yeah, that's
Like,
true.
1 more Medivac would have made a difference, probably. As of now, I don't really like this push coming from Solar. Of course, there is 1 tank being sieged out, but the Mutas are already getting into position. There are not many Marines out. Not many Marines means these Mutas can get a lot of value. And if those Marines die, then Mutas have free trading. And the Banelings are still not fast, but it looks like the Mutas are diving on top of the tank. The tank will go down, and Banelings are fast now. And this is an awful fight for Dream. Gonna lose the tank, gonna lose the Hellbats, gonna lose the Medivac. He's just gonna lose everything he has brought with this. GG gets cold. And we're going to game number 5.
Oh man, like we said, if there was going to be a Zerg that was going to be able to win 3 straight and turn this whole series around, it's going to be Solar, and he has positioned himself into an opportunity to do just that, as it's going to force a 5th and deciding game here. I can't wait to see how this 5th game turns out.
Waiting for Dream to choose this last map of the series, and I have to say, like, the last 2 games have been looking rough for him. I'd be surprised if he doesn't go for a proxy play.
Yeah, I think he's got to do it. He's got to go back to that 2 racks opening. I mean, it worked out so well for him the first 2 games. I think he's played a couple of standard openings and macro games where it just hasn't really fallen into place, hasn't fallen into plan. So I think doesn't hurt to go back to what did work in the beginning and give it a try.
He's gonna choose Eternal Empire, as the last map, which makes sense. It is a good Terran map. It is a fairly standard map. Every player like pretty much likes to play here, but it's not a map you're going to proxy on. Almost definitely. So while I agree with you, like that was probably the best thing for him to do, he has chosen Eternal Empire. I refuse to believe that a player chooses Eternal Empire and then decides to proxy. It doesn't make it. We will see though.
All right,
Yep.
here we go.
Talking about him, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Eternal Empire as the Green Terran, playing for Bravestar Gaming. He has been recovered from his 2 advantage, but he still got his chance to get into the finals. It is Dream.
And spawning here at the top right corner of the map, he's the red Zerg player, looking to extend his 2-game winning streak to 3. From Kaiser Gaming, it is Solar.
Alright, it looks like Dream's wits have come up to him. He won't go for a proxy. Eternal Empire, weird choice. But I'm looking forward to this. I feel like for Solar, this only works better for him. Like, he has been going twice in a row for a Spire play. The first time was forced. The second time was his plan in the game. And it has worked out very well for him. I don't feel like Dream has a good time dealing with Mutas. And Eternal Empire is actually one of the best Spire map out there. So I'd be very surprised if Solar decides not to go for a Spire.
Yeah, I think Bane Ling Mutalisk composition is going to be working out really well on Eternal Empire. Just the fact that there's so many wide open areas that the Lings can get us around, and there's also a lot of dead airspace that, you know, things like Widow Mine Drop or a Battlecruiser can take advantage of the Zerg, but with the Mutalisk or the Corruptors, that kind of renders it null.
It's gonna be a Clash opener again from Solar, as you see. Pull 2 drones out of gas at 60 total gas, and then send his next drone to the third. So to any Zerg player watching this, if you've never heard of the Clash opener, search it out, because this is clearly the best way to play the matchup lately. So basically, if you don't go for this, you're at a disadvantage in the early game against the Terran, so just go for it.
Just go for it. Listen to the man.
Like, if you don't want to listen to me, listen to Solar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Reaper survives.
Yeah, he's not an innovation. He doesn't lose Reapers.
Alright, Dream. Third command center before starport. That's a greedy Terran over here. Solar will notice in a second. Here comes the Overlord getting scouting on this command center over here. And it's not something you can punish on Eternal Empire. It's not something you can punish at all. So I really like this out of Dream, trying to establish a macro advantage in the early game. Solar hitting a pretty nasty supply block as well, just right as his third base finishes, which is not great, but not the worst. So, Solar, what is your plan here? You've seen a very early third command center. Muta play can be... Oh, wait. Oh. That's like some 5-ed stuff from Dream. Early third command center into Fusion Core. I'm on it. I'm definitely on it. I loved it.
Yeah. Now, Solar, he does not have any idea. He does have an idea of their command center, but not the Fusion Core, as that's kind of really tucked into the deep ends of his base. But looks like the Overlord's gonna possibly scout it. I think he will.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna scout it.
As soon as he finishes scouting the Fusion Core, all it down but it was worth it. Lair immediately dropped by Solar. He was looking exactly for that. He wasn't fooled by the early Fur Command Center. Usually it's the other way around. You drop the Fusion Core first and then the Fur Command Center. The early Free Command Center is usually for a free racks play with a heavy marine style, not getting combat shields for a little while, and then just trying to pin your opponent into his base before he can punish you and setting up a strong economy. This time, Fur Command Center was just a mean to an end. It was just a way to deflect the attention from his Fusion Core. Didn't quite work out, but we will see. Fusion Core openers still very powerful, and Solar still has to be very careful because the distance between his bases is very, very big. So a Fusion Core play, a Battlecruiser play, can be still very deadly with two factories coming as the follow.
Yeah, now we did see, I think, the similar opening on Death Aura. And the thing is that he did have his supply depot wall down, so all the links got in through and was able to snipe out a bunch of SCVs. I think this time around it's going to be a bit different though.
There's also another difference. There was no armory with that push before. This time there are the Elbats. This is the most standard way to push out with a Battlecruiser. There are a bunch of Queens out trying to deal with the Elbats, but most of them are already falling. This is a little bit of a bummer for Solar. He's gonna be keeping only 4 Queens alive, 3. They're trying desperately to fight down these Hellbats, but only one of them is left standing. None right now. 63 drones, 3 archeries, no Queens. Solar gonna get the counter attack with these links, but there are already Hellbats back home to defend for Dream. Not having Queens means not having Larva. Not having Larva means not having units, not having Mutas. Only 3 of them are being produced right now. This Battlecruiser is getting 3 damage right now. He can get on top of everything. He can get on top of the Spire uncontested. There is 1 Queen right now being attacked by this Battlecruiser. Another Queen down. This is a disaster. Losing Queens this early in the game is just something you don't recover from. You need a miracle with the Mutas. 8 more of them are coming. The second BC will be out in us. Okay, he's already out. But he's not tactical jumping. Yeah, it stayed home. The second Battlecruiser stayed home.
Yeah, I mean, once he saw those Mutalisks out, I think he was like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna turtle here. Make sure I don't die to any Mutalisk counterattacks. Because right now, his Battlecruiser is pretty much the only anti-air he has. I mean, he does have a few Widow Mines, but not quite enough to clean out all the Mutalisks. So I think it's a smart play to just keep the second Battlecruiser at home, repair that first Battlecruiser, and possibly move out later on if he wants to.
And I really cannot stress this further. Like, losing all of your Queens in the early stage of the game is basically the same as losing a hatchery. So the production of Solar was looking very shallow for a lot of time. Right now, this Muta count, like, remember the game on Death Aura? Like, right now he had 70 Mutas. 70 Mutas can easily fight down anything. Right now, even after defending, he can only come at a total of 14, yet 12 for a lot of time, by the way. So he's not gonna have the amount of Mutas he had that early. He's gonna be having a little bit of a more difficult time doing something with those Mutas because the reaction out of Dream will come out quicker. That's how important it is to keep those Queens alive. Right now, he can still easily find some damage left and right, but it is also gonna be very hard to fight just the main army of Dream in a little while.
Yeah, well, you make a great point. Without those Queens, also you can't really spread those creep tumors as much. There's less creep tumors, and yeah, that kind of slows down the creep spread there.
Okay, tactical jump away. Both Battlecruisers survived, but they will find themselves in a very nasty spot. Solar is gonna try to prevent the disadvantage from snowballing into the later stages of the game by quickly expanding twice and keeping map control with the Mutas. Very clever way of playing this game out of Solar, but you remember the game of Death Aura, how devastating what is play with the Mutas. This time is struggling a little bit to find that damage. He easily got on game number 3.
Yeah, I mean, at that game, he was so ahead that he was fighting Millis against Doors. I mean, but this time around, I don't think he can.
It's gonna be way harder. There are already 3 Thors out. There are 2 battle cruisers stopping these Banelings from existing. Meanwhile, Solar trying to set up a counterplay here with the Mutas. There are quite a lot of them, 23 with +1 air attack. They can fight down a lot of stuff very easily. There are a bunch more missile turrets than there used to be over here though. 6, 7, 8. Oh my god, that's a lot of lost SCVs. Right now the Mutas fighting down one of the Thors as well, killing many more SCVs in the process. Looks like 5 Mutas are gonna fall for that, and that's a trade I happily take as Solar. 15 SCVs down, that's a lot.
Yeah, now he's down by over 30 workers against Solar. I mean, against Solar. So now he's kind of behind in terms of income, as you can see in the graph here. It's all red in favor of Solar. So Dream's got to be careful not to lose his SCVs.
Yeah, and as soon as +2 air attack is done for Solar, these Mutas can start fighting down even the strongest side of the army of Dream. So, Infestation Pit has been dropped, and Ivy is soon to come, probably. Here it is, immediately dropped by Solar, who's also gonna expand on a 6 base and try to snowball his advantage even further. Mutas diving down on top of Thors and tanks. It looks like the +2 upgrade is exactly what he was waiting for to go for the final blow on his opponent. Solar playing an incredible game, recovering from a very bad spot right now. He's gonna cancel the planetary and not gonna get a kill by just a little. These Vikings are starting to prove themselves worthy and starting to get a lot of value, but in the end, Solar is still gonna get the planetary killed. And losing a lot of Mutas in the process. He's still gonna be way behind in the units lost tab. Like, he lost way more resources than his opponent. But he's macroing like a god right now. 90 workers, 6 base. Like, he can take those losses.
Yeah, I was gonna say that fight was a bit inefficient on Solar's part, but because he has such a economic advantage right now, yeah, I think he can afford to kind of lose out on the efficiency trade, but doesn't want to get over eager. He doesn't really have a bank to kind of make sure that he's safe against any counterattack after losing a inefficient fight. So doesn't want to get too overly eager in these next couple of fights until he has a big bank.
It really looks like Solar is avoiding to fight the main army right now. He almost killed a battle cruiser, but the Thor count is getting very high right now. An Ultra Cavern is a very, very interesting answer to this. Of course, Adrenaline Glands and +2/+2 Carapace and melee attack is going to be very important, as well as +3 air attack. All things that Solar is getting are going to be way, way, way more important than anything else he can get at this stage. But he needs to keep those Mutas alive. He cannot lose these many. Those units are hardly replaceable right now. He needs all the larvae he can get to double it down with the link and have a strong ground army. Ultras are gonna be out in a second probably. His Ultra Cavalry is down and made. Chitinous Plating is started. Another base has been dropped by Solar. A Dream is taking efficient fight after efficient fight. He lost a couple Thors the whole game. He lost, like, how many did he lose? Like 3 Thors? Yeah, that's...
Yeah,
like,
3 Thors.
He's producing like 3 at a time right now, so you can see that the Dream is in a very good spot after Solar is taking a little bit too many inefficient fights probably.
Yeah, I think the great part of mech is that it seems to have a more efficient kind of advantage over the opponent. So yeah, as Dream kind of establishes more bases, more gases to fund that mech army, it's going to be pretty scary in the head-to-head fight here. So we got Solar. Definitely want to be careful first with his Muleless. Oh, does not want to fight Thors there.
Oh man, like without +3 attack, he cannot really get much as well because the upgrades for this mech army are starting to kick in. And I love that he's researching Neural for these infestors that are probably gonna be important and soon to come. But the Army of Dream is at its doorstep, and right now this is getting scary. How many doors is this? 11 doors. I've probably never seen these many doors in a professional game of StarCraft ever. Ultras are out. These mutas are diving on top of these battle cruisers, but the upgrades for the battle cruisers, as you can see, have kicked in. These things are tanky. And I just want you to remember that these are the first 2 battle cruisers of the game. 33 kills on one, 26 on the other.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Crazy.
If a Dream wins this game, I mean, those battle cruisers deserve a Medal of Honor.
Here comes the Banelings and the Ultras and the Zerglings on top of the doors, but the upgrades are way too good for Dream. These Ultras cannot get easily damaged in. Another Ultra is gonna come in, one of them has fallen, yes, but the battle cruisers are gonna be the most scary stuff out of Dream right now. 2 bases down for Solar. He's gonna get some counterattack damage, he's gonna get a bunch of SCVs before and now, but he's gonna dive now right on top of the doors. Ultras are going on. They have the +3 upgrade right now, and they're just gonna destroy this 4 army right now. I didn't quite expect it. The last few mutas are going down for Solar. +3 attack didn't really do too much for these mutas, but the Army of Dream has been cleared. A mech army takes a little bit of time to be replaced. These Widowmines are still gonna keep Solar from really going forward. Once more, Solar is gonna lose a little bit too many queens.
Oh man, this battle cruiser is still alive here. We can havoc here. Finally, does teleport back home as the Mulus has popped out.
Yeah, and like, both of them are still alive. He still hasn't lost a single battle cruiser the whole game. Talk about efficiency here. Like the singular value, like one of these battle cruiser has taken, it's probably like, I don't know, 6 times its price, probably. Each one of them, like, that's crazy value. That's something you almost never see in a game of StarCraft. No unit survives this long and gets this many important kills in the way of being mutas and queens being killed. Those are important units.
Yeah, definitely. But you know what, Solar, he's been stuck on over 90 workers, so that means his economy will be able to help him transition into this later game, as he is got a bunch of investors. I think he's got like let's see here, 7-8 investors on the field, so that means he's gonna have a lot of energy to Neuroparasite or to Fungo, those cyclones that are attacking on the top left side.
Yeah, Cyclones not gonna find a lot of good targets over here before the main army of Solar collapses on them. 4 drones are gonna fall down. It is something, but at this stage, Solar will probably not even replace those drones. Doesn't really need that many. He could probably survive like with 20 less once he starts building up a bank. And with Infestors, he's gonna be starting to be the one trying to take efficient trades and build up a bank. Stealing those units out of Dream is gonna be the key here, of course. Still no Burr. Oh no, okay, Burr is resistant. So yeah, those Infestors are ready to rock for Solar. And here they prowl, looking for some unsuspecting Tor to Neural.
You know, I would really love to see Dream just kind of throw a bunch of turrets out in the field, out in the middle of nowhere. That should help at least distract the Mulus while the ground army gets cleaned up. But oh no, Dream, gotta be careful. There's a lot of Banelings here. How many Banelings is that? That's 38 Banelings on the field. Ooh.
Yeah, like as long as he doesn't have like 120, Dream is not gonna have PTSD. Like, I don't know if you remember the game Dark vs Dream, but I do remember 120 Banelings destroying everything Dream had. And it looks like this time it won't happen. There are a bunch of Liberators and tanks getting very good trade value for Dream, who's right now gonna leapfrog those Liberators, try to get into position. Countering those Infestors is very important and Dream is doing exactly that. Finland's gonna get these cyclones down, but 13 drones will fall. This base is under attack, and Dream has found himself a very good spot to siege himself in, while the two battle cruisers, yes, you got it, they're still getting damage. GG gets called. Solar will tap out of this game. The siege position was too good, and Dream will get into the finals. I still feel like it was a little bit of a too early GG. I don't know.
Well, he kind of ran out of resources at the end, so I mean I don't fault him for GGing, but man, Dream playing that out like a true mech player, just had great engagement after another great engagement, and you know what, we're gonna have to eat our words, because early on we said that if it went to a macro game, a standard macro game, that Solar would have the upper edge, but Dream proving that he can play a macro game as well without relying on the 2-Rex proxy in the early game. So well done there by Dream. He will advance to the finals 3-2.
And I gotta say this, like, the infestors out of Solar were perfectly countered and played around by Dream in every single one of the engagements. Those infestors never got any value whatsoever, and this is not a demerit of Solar. I feel like this is really something that Dream has thought out perfectly. He had a perfect counter, he played around them, he didn't play into them. He just played a perfect late game.
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah, pretty impressive indeed. And let's go ahead and take a look at here at our current bracket. Thank you, Cynical Death, for updating the Liquipedia page. As you can see, Innovation heading into the finals with a 3-1 win over Patience on the first semifinals, and now we have a 3-2 win for Dream here on the second semifinals. So we're gonna have ourselves a TVT here in this finals between Innovation and Dream. So we're gonna go ahead and get everything set up. We're gonna actually take I guess a 5-minute break, and then we'll be right back with our best of 7 finals to determine who will come out as the winner. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in 5 minutes. All right, guys, welcome back. We are about to get started with our first game of this finals. All right. So I'm gonna ask you for your prediction here before we begin. What do you think is gonna happen?
You know what is TVT? Like, TVT, such a weird matchup, such a different way of playing the game compared to any of the other matchups. Like all mirrors are, they're very different from anything else. I gotta give it to Innovation just out of experience, like over time, pedigree, and everything. Like Innovation is clearly the favorite here. But this matchup, I have this small feeling like inside me that Dream will win it. I don't know why. I feel like I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
Well, I guess we shall see. All right, let's go ahead and introduce our players here.
Okay, you're gonna tell me your prediction after then. Let's start in the bottom left-hand corner, where there is the blue Terran player. Playing for Brainstar Gaming, it is Dream.
All right, and here, spawning at the top right, is the red Terran player from Kaizi Gaming. It is Innovation.
You know what I miss compared to Twitch? Like, on Twitch we could have made like a poll to see who the viewers think is going to win. Like, I don't think you can do it on Trovo.
Yeah, I mean, Trovo's still in like development phase. I mean, they're in the, I think, the beta phase, so still
They're already doing great, by the way. Like, this platform is insanely good compared to its early days.
It's already good in the beta phase, so imagine if it is, how good it is going to be once it gets to the regular standard phase.
Exactly. Like, I have to say I'm incredibly surprised by how this platform has been doing lately.
And if you guys like it here, go ahead, just make a Trovo account. It's really easy. Make an account, give us a follow if you like our content, and you can turn on the notification whenever we go live, and help support the channel as we bring out more high-level content in the future.
So, as the two Reapers are going to clash, well, not really in the middle of the map. You were going to say your prediction before. Who do you think is going to win?
You know what? I pretty much agree with you. I mean, Innovation, he tends to be, I think, considered a tier higher than Dream. Like, if you think about the tier 1 Terrans out there, I mean, Innovation is one of them. I think you can add in maybe TY or maybe Maru, although Maru I think has kind of drifted off a bit. And then I think Dream kind of falls in that bottom tier. There's coming up. I gotta say, I've been impressed by Dream actually this past year, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not really pay attention to Dream before then. But then this past year or so, I've seen him a lot more often, and he's getting a lot of impressive wins. So definitely gotta say I've been definitely impressed by Dream's kind of uprising this past year or so.
Like, he's been a little bit overshadowed by the rise of Cure, which has indeed been like the most surprising player of this year. But I have to agree with you, like, Dream is playing insanely good this past year. Like, he has stepped up this game a lot in all matchups. He's looking to be a very unpredictable player as well. And, like, I have to say, like, if Cure wasn't there, like, everybody would be talking about him instead.
Yeah, I think Cure has definitely considered either the best or at least the top 2 Terrans currently in the game. But Dream, he's rising, he's getting there, he's doing his work. But oh, we do see a Hellion drop, and there's actually no vision here in the main base.
That's very well thought out by Dream here, getting on top of the SCVs. That's already gonna be quite a lot of kills. 3 of them, they still count a lot. This is a mirror matchup. Every single SCV kill works a ton in favor of the aggressor here. 10 kills on this alien drop, and probably even more. A bunch of Marines have died as well. I think no Marine has died. But yeah, 11 kills. Like, this is crazy. No Viking to deal with his Mediocre, only the Raven trying to go around it, and more aliens and the Reaper are coming here in the natural. Innovation is gonna lose so much. Command center delayed as well. Dream getting so much damage. 15 kills. That's devastating damage in the early game of a mirror matchup.
That's I think that's almost game-ending damage at that point. Not quite, but yeah, GG's not even gonna try. He's gonna GG out, and he knows it. I mean, that's just too much damage. 13 SV before the 5-minute mark. That's tough to come back from.
That's very tough. Like, I wasn't expecting it to go like that. Like, you see those aliens being dropped into the main, you think, okay, there's gonna be a lot of damage here. Like, there's no way this is going to be a lot of damage coming from Dream. But 15 kills? Like, that has to be a misplay coming from Innovation. It could not be just a good thing coming from Dream. There has to be something that has gone wrong for Innovation here. And he really needs to make up for it in game number 2.
Yeah, I think he was a bit short-sighted. I mean, that map has a really large main base, so has a lot of dark areas that you got to cover. And I think Dream went for a really smart build order, taking advantage of that knowledge, and was able to kind of pull off the Hellion drop without being noticed and scouted. So really well done there by Dream. Gets a quick 1-0 lead on Innovation, and that's what you really need against a player like Innovation. It always feels really good to get that head start, get that one leg up on your on the Innovation. So good start there for Dream.
And I was saying the same about Solar before. I know it sounds like it's like not true, but Innovation is once more another of those players who's not really scared of going behind. So if I were Dream right now, I would really try to step this forward with a very aggressive play again, because that's a good way to set up like momentum, to set up your mood good for this series. Because otherwise, like, Innovation doesn't really care about being behind. So you better not give him the chance of like getting ahead very quickly, because otherwise your mood, your momentum into the series will go down very quickly. Like, Innovation is one of those players who either wins 4-0 against his opponent, or has a very close series and then ends up not really mattering if he's behind or not in the long scheme of things. But let's get into introduction. Here, in the bottom right hand corner, playing for Brave Star Gaming, spawning as the Green Terran, it is Dream.
And spawned here at the top left corner of the map is the red Terran player from Kaizi Gaming. Looking to type the series, it is Innovation.
Alright, do you expect Dream to be the aggressor, even in this game, as I did?
You know what? I feel like either both players can go for the aggressive route. Of course, that build there in the last game is not gonna work out quite as well on this map, just because it's a smaller map compared to the last map. So less dark spaces. But I mean, this map is pretty small, right? So if you can open up with a kind of a timing and go across the map, you can get there relatively quick and hit a nice timing attack. But we'll see who decides to go for that aggressive build, or who will go for more of a defensive play.
Like, as of now, Innovation is gonna drop this command center in the natural slightly quicker. Like, he's not one of those things that is going to matter a lot. What I'm really looking forward more is how Innovation will play out his Double Reaper Alien play. Like, this is completely the standard, but one of the two players usually decides to stay home and the other player decides to be the one attacking. It looks like this time is gonna be Dream to be moving out first, and let's see how this first little bit of a trade goes. If it ever happens, it looks like it's never happening. All right.
Yeah, I mean the reinforcement path does favor Innovation, so I think he just doesn't want to overextend and lose his Hellion and Reapers.
It's very well down to just who throws the better Reaper grenades. It's one of those trades like they can go very poorly very quickly for you. Like, it's a little bit like Ling Bane phase in ZVZ. Like, you cannot skip it. You need to go for Reapers and Hellions because you need to either be the one attacking or be the one defending. In this scenario, both players are deciding to go for the defense route, but like, it cannot just happen that one of those two players decides, okay, I'm just gonna go make Marines, because otherwise, like, Reapers and Aliens come and you die. That's how it works. Like, exactly the same for ZVZ. You cannot just decide, okay, I'm not gonna make Baneling. It's probably not gonna work for you, especially on short maps.
All right, so both these players, I think, are going for relatively the same build here. I've seen the same kind of unit composition. There's a Cyclone in there. There's a Raven as well coming out. So I think it's gonna come down to a micro battle if either player decides to attack. And it seems like Dream has decided to move out.
Yeah, both players just kind of studying each other in these earlier stages of the game. Once again, those Reaper grenades are going to be the most important things here. And it looks like Dream is not going to try to find a fight. Cyclone lock-in, not going to have first blood of the game. Oh, here it comes. First blood has been drawn by Dream. This fight wasn't really a thing of beauty from neither of those two players, but at least we had some action started up over here, and we're seeing also the first few things differ in the build order. Like, you can see, like, Innovation dropping down 2 more Rexes, while Dream has decided instead to go for a third command center. So he's gonna be having those 2 Rexes a little bit later compared to his opponent. We will see who's gonna be the one having the most favorable transition into the mid game.
Oh yeah, I think Dream's gonna have to play a bit more passive because he doesn't really have the extra racks to produce those Marines to help defend. I mean, to help attack. So he's gonna have to either start throwing down his barracks, like 4 more barracks or something, soon, or he's just gonna have to stay pat at home.
Yeah, and I have to say though that I love that he's going for the early reactor starport to start dropping out more Vikings than his opponent quickly. Like, he already has a 2 Vikings advantage. Innovation has still yet to start his first Viking, and if you have ever seen a TVT in your life, you know how important it is to have that air advantage. Vikings are the most important unit in the mid game in this matchup. Having the Viking advantage means owning the map. And Dream is starting off early with this. As you can see, already starting to get this Raven down. Getting the Raven down means having an advantage into the fight. Innovation has to retreat, and Dream got the fight just starting those Vikings earlier. Is already meaning a lot. Meanwhile, Innovation counter-attacking, gonna drop in the main, and it is a Doom drop. It looks like 2 tanks as siege pop. Dream doesn't care. He's going for his own attack. This is a little bit ballsy coming from him, landing his Vikings down. 2 Ravens, one of them is gonna go fall down. And Innovation has set up a siege into his main base of Dream, while Dream is instead trying to kill the main army of Innovation, steaming forward on top of the tanks. He's not gonna get the better fight. 22 SCVs have fallen down, but there is no way Dream can clear that. Innovation gets game number 2.
Yeah, that was a great hold, pulling the SCVs. And you know what? Even if Dream was able to clean up Innovation's army in his main base, the stim was sniped out by that drop. So he was pushed really further behind. So it would have been really hard for him to play it out, even if he did manage to clean up the army in his main base. So well done there by Innovation. Beautiful play.
Really clean way of ending the game there for Innovation, like sneaking those Medivacs behind the Vikings. In the end, Dream was looking a little bit blindsided by this, but I really have to give this like tip my hat off for Innovation. That was clever, that was well executed, and that was especially good against the way Dream was trying to play out that game. He was trying to have a little bit of a greedy transition into the mid game. As you were seeing, it was starting to pay off with those Vikings starting to get value. But in the end, those Vikings cannot really fight the main army. So in the end, Innovation, perfect answer, perfect counter, perfect execution. He's gonna tie the series for now. Let's see how they will perform in game number 3 on Death Aura.
Yep, map has loaded, so we're about to start game number 3.
Alright, we're in the top left hand corner of Death Aura, where the blue Terran is spawning, playing for Kaizi Gaming, just having tied up the series. It is Innovation.
And spawning here at the bottom right, he is the red Terran player representing Brave Star Gaming. It is Dream.
Alright, we've seen two very different games. In game 1 and game 2, we're on Death Aura now. It's one of the most difficult maps to get into the natural and get damage into the natural, which is something that means a lot in TVT. So establishing control of the map, especially the middle of the map, is going to be the most important thing if the game gets to the mid-game stage. So I'm expecting both players to try to rush into Vikings, maybe going for double, if not triple Raven. But we will see how the early game will play out, because it's still TVT, it's still a wild matchup, and things can go south for any of the two players very quickly.
Well, you know, with Innovation getting that really quick second guess, we might actually see the 2-3 Raven push. I mean, with the acceleration zone, his tanks and marines will get there relatively quickly across the map. And then he, of course, will have the Ravens to, you know, use the interference matrix on those tanks if Dream has any tanks. So I think Innovation looking for a kind of a aggressive push in this early game.
Definitely do agree with you. As you've seen, Innovation dropping just now the command center in the natural. That's very late timing considering the matchup. But in the end, as Nubi was saying, it looks like Innovation is looking to be the aggressor right now. Dream only now starting his second guess after almost finishing his factory right now. As you can see on the other side of the map, Innovation already starting up aliens and is gonna drop down a starport just now. Everything is gonna be way earlier for Innovation, starting the command center a little bit later, but he needs to do something with it fairly quickly, because the FTV count is gonna be rising higher for Dream in just a little bit. Reaper already getting into action. Of course, not gonna get a good fight over here. Reaper Grenade will save one of the Reapers of Innovation, and in the end, the trade will not draw first blood yet.
Oh, that was actually a bit scary. That Reaper, I think, could have been sniped out if Dream microed that a bit better. But nice micro there by Innovation, using the the Hellion to kind of tank up the damage, and while the weakened Reaper retreated into the back. So well done by both players.
And as you were saying, Innovation starting off his first Raven. He's gonna be starting up his first tank as well. Yeah, right now, as soon as he had gas, he's gonna be setting up that push you were talking about. And it's a very scary way to play the matchup. Dream, of course, knows about this. Yeah, scouted the early second gas, the lack of command center in the early game. So he basically knows what's going to happen. That's like the one build order that does this. So he's gonna be trying to get confirmation scouting with his Medivac. A drop in the main can be very scary right now because Innovation doesn't yet have a lot of answer to this. Of course, the first tank is done, but this can still get damage.
Oh yeah, I think he's gonna draw the army into the main base. I think he could have ran his Hellion and Reaper into the natural, but got it out in the middle of the map. This drop doesn't really get anything done.
Yeah, definitely not a great trade for Dream. Of course, he's gonna force a little bit of energy out of this Raven, but again, it's not gonna be the biggest of deals right now. Dream is gonna be at a disadvantage of army in a little while. Of course, he's not right now, but he is going to be, trust me. And dropping down 2 Rex to having a good and strong Marine production. It's a very important thing to do right now. But Innovation is actually... Yeah, okay. He swapped the Rex and the Starport, so he's not gonna add up more Ravens into this. So actually drawing that little bit of energy out of the Raven was a little bit more important than I thought. The attack can start now for Innovation. Is gonna have that army advantage I was talking about. But as far as tank goes, they're gonna be on even tanks in this 2-2. Comes the drop from Dream, getting a bunch of SCVs, draw a little bit of attention from Innovation, not too much. While the main army of Inno is still gonna try to go for the Doom drop into the main. Dream is gonna have one tank well positioned into his main, while the Raven tries to get some at least auto turrets. Interference Matrix goes on one of the tanks of Innovation. This is not going too good for Dream though. Raven goes down in the end. He's able to clear this. And it looks like Innovation aggression has been deflected by Dream. Not without some losses though. Well, not even that many actually. Didn't lose the Raven, which Inno did lose. That's pretty big.
Oh, this Medivac just barely moving out or getting out alive. But yeah, looks like with that defense, Dream does take a decent supply lead here, about 10 to 15 or so. And I think both players are just going to go ahead and transition into the later stage. Actually, as I look at it, Innovation doesn't have a dirt command center, while Dream, on the other hand, he's already establishing his dirt. So in the next minute or two, Dream's economy is going to skyrocket ahead of Innovation.
Yeah, Inno definitely needs to do something with his army right now. He needs to get something done, and he's trying to go for a double drop on 2 different sides. The first one is right now committing to the natural.
Oh,
A little bit too forward. Cyclone is gonna snipe down that Medivac. Okay guys, that is game ending. Trust me. This game is over basically for Innovation unless he gets some crazy good value out of this second drop with his free Medivacs. Oh my god, look at them dodging the sensor tower.
just barely getting through. But this is what he really needs right now to at least try to crawl himself back into the game, get a little bit of advantage. Oh my, cancel combat shield? Yes, he does. He sniped off the combat shield. So no combat shield for the Marines of Dream.
Interference Matrix drop on top of the tank. This is gonna be a nasty fight. Dream clears this. The Raven survives for Dream. And yet again, another drop here at the fur base. Will try to get some damage, but Dream will transfer his main army. One tank will go down, but goodbye Medivac. And this army of Inno is gonna be cleared. Army advantage is in favor of Dream right now. He has a Raven, but Innovation is still gonna move out. He has combo shields. That's very important in the matchup. And just want to check the upgrades. Okay, Dream has +1 armor. This army of innovation scheming right here into the nature, getting 10 SCVs down, 11 actually. But right now, Dream finally has army and workers advantage for the first time in this game. Innovation needs to be very careful, needs to win a big fight right now. This game is spiraling a little bit out of control for the Blue Terran field.
He's going to go ahead and attempt for a double medevac drop here into the natural of Dream. So this might actually catch Dream off guard, but there actually are a tank and a bunch of Marines there. Oh, he's dodging it into, flying straight into the main base here where there's absolutely no defense. And he might, oh my god, these upgrades here. If he snipes these.
He's not going for them, he's going for the SCVs. He knows he doesn't have enough time to snipe down the upgrades. He's going for the economy. 9 SCVs are going down. A bunch of the army of Dream has been cleared as well. Innovation getting damage here. Getting some good damage. Vikings were not in position to deal with the Medivacs. Right now, one of them is gonna get this Medivac just barely. Gonna get just a bunch of Marines killed with it. But Dream and Innovation right now, paired in supply, tied right now. The only thing that matters is Viking count and tank count for the big fight. 1 Viking against none, 6 tanks against 3. Innovation still needs to pull out a miracle because Dream is really in a good spot right now. Even though he's behind in workers right now, funnily enough, he's gonna have his upgrades advantage in just a little bit. And he just needs to wait for that. Oh my god, this engagement goes fully for Dream, but the tanks are still in a good position for the Red Terran. He's gonna win the tank battle, and that's already something, since he has a 6-2 tank advantage.
Oh man, yo, this +2/2 upgrades of Dream is gonna finish really soon, and that is gonna really help out Dream in those engagements, especially since those tank and Marines are the bulk of both armies, both players' army composition. But oh man, Innovation pulling Dream left and right, might actually snipe off this command center at the right side, but actually going to focus fire on all the tanks. And Innovation, is he pulling this off?
It was perfect micro coming from Innovation, still gonna pull up some damage here. Dream behind in workers and army right now. That's something I wouldn't have expected anytime soon. Still ahead in tank count, still ahead in upgrades, but he really needs to put some these Marines into use. He needs to take a good fight because Innovation is pulling him apart.
And Dream is telling Innovation to stop with this harass. This harass is getting so annoying for him. And I mean, Innovation is doing what he needs to do. He's kind of multi-pronging attacking, kind of pulling the attention and the APM and stretching the APM of Dream, and he is pulling ahead. But you know what? The Dream still has the upgrade lead, and now
upgrade lead is gonna put some work into it for Dream, and that was exactly what he was waiting for—a big fight between the two main armies, and that was something that Dream couldn't lose. Upgrade advantage, tank advantage. Everything was ahead for Dream, and he found the good spot to fight and won the game.
Yeah, but
sick game by Innovation.
Yeah, but also sick game by Dream too, because he was getting harassed like crazy. But you know what? I even though Innovation lost that game, I gotta say I was pretty impressed, considering that his command center was like really late. I mean, by the time Dream had his dirt established, I mean, Innovation still didn't have his dirt, and he was able to kind of outmaneuver and out multi-prong Dream there to kind of pull it back and at least pull it somewhat even. But the difference was the upgrade. His Innovation's upgrade was just way too late, and Dream was able to hold on and take that game and take that win to go up 2-1 in this best of 7 finals.
So, like, at one spot into that game, like, Dream sniped down 2 Medivacs full of Marines from Innovation. And I said that was game-ending damage, and it really was game-ending damage. In the end, Dream was able to exploit that advantage and win the game. But coming back from that spot, from Innovation, and being this good at keeping this game alive. Like, it was a crazy feat from the Korean Terran. Oh, wait. Okay, I did the wrong map. Wait a second.
All right, looks like game number 4 will take place on Internal Empire. So,
Yeah. I started
this
it by mistake.
it's all right. But yeah, Internal Empire, pretty standard map. We shall see what kind of tactics and strategies both of these players go for. We're gonna go ahead and set this map up. But before then, just want to remind you there is a Matcherino page. If you see the kind of the pinned message at the top of the chat, there's a Matcherino link as well as the code AXSS9 to add 50 cents for free to the prize pool. And if you want to help out additionally, you can do those sponsor quests on the right side. And in doing so, that kind of really encourages our sponsors to put and invest more money into StarCraft 2. So if you can, go ahead and do those sponsor quests. But at the very least, enter that coupon code because it's so easy. All you have to do is log in with your, I don't know, your Blizzard, your Twitch, whatever account you have, and just enter that coupon code, click on the contribute, and that's it. As easy as it gets. So let's go ahead and head into game number 4 in this map of Internal Empire.
Let's start it off with introductions in the bottom left-hand corner, where you can find the base of the Green Terran, who's currently leading the series 2-1. He needs 2 more to win it off in the finals. It is Dream.
And spawning at the top right, he's the blue Terran from Kaizi Gaming. It is Innovation.
Alright, Eternal Empire. Innovation has chosen a little bit of a far-stretched map to play this game number 4. He wants probably to put his perfect macro into play here, but we will see how it will play out, because you know what, Dream is playing great today. Like, he's really playing at his best, so who knows, maybe we'll be able to unmacro the macro king.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive because the first series, I think he was kind of considered the underdog compared to Solar. Was able to manage to win that 3-1, and now he's coming into this finals, which I think most people will also consider him the underdog compared to Innovation. But he's right now find himself in a 2-1 advantage, 2 wins away from clinching the series.
And once again, Innovation goes for that double gas opener. Early factory, gonna be delaying the natural command center. And again, he's looking to be the aggressor here. And he quite didn't play out in his favor due to a big mistake losing those 2 medivacs. But imagine game number 3 if Innovation never lost those medivacs with those Marines. Like, that would have been a crazy different game.
Oh, we do see him, the Reaper here from Innovation. We'll take out that SCV, delaying that command center.
Trust me, this is very big from Innovation. He's probably gonna lose his Reaper. Yes, he will lose his Reaper, but like, yeah, okay, it is gonna matter losing that Reaper. But yeah, he delayed the command center, and he's gonna be having his own delayed command center by starting up with a double gas factory opener. So, okay, wait a second.
Oh my god.
You waiting this? Oh, all right. Never mind. Innovation is behind again.
Yeah, Innovation just went back to his Reaper losing days. If you guys didn't see the first series, the first semifinals, just kept losing Reaper against Patience. But now this
units now. Like, why would he ever send that Hellion out? Like,
yeah, I mean, if he loses this Hellion, I mean, this is gonna snowball, right?
he can just stop out of the game if he loses his Hellion. Like the situation is already pretty dire. Like this fight is a difficult fight for him to win if Dream commits. Of course, his first tank is gonna be out there. A bunch of Marines coming, so Dream is probably not gonna commit. But if Innovation went for the standard, like probably this would have been already GG.
Yeah. Oh man, this tank gonna come out just in time. It's gonna.
Yeah, just barely on time. I mean, like Dream could have just dived on top of that and still got a good trade, but it looks like he doesn't really want to risk it. He knows he has a little bit of an advantage. He knows his opponent is playing the aggressor, but there's no need for him to actually commit deeply into this. He's gonna bring a Medivac with this to try and drop into the main, but Innovation already has his first Viking out. That's the strength of this build. Like, you're gonna have answers to everything from your opponent early on, so there's not gonna be a real way for Dream to get any damage anytime soon. And I would like him to see just reset, go back into his base and just macro it out. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, it's gonna throw down that Gurkhan command center, knowing that he can't really get an opening here. I mean, the Marines kind of shut down the pathway at the top for the drop. The tanks at the front, you're not really gonna get through that, to be honest. So, gonna go ahead, just transition, adapt to the game, and yeah, gonna go ahead and research stim. So it looks like he's gonna go back to again that tank Marine army composition once again.
Innovation this time playing it a lot more patiently. He knows that Eternal Empire is one of those maps that, like, if you commit into an aggressive push, like, your units are gonna take a long time coming back. Reinforcements are not gonna be there, so he wants to have a little bit of a bulkier force to move out, and that's exactly what he did. He delayed the Raven to get to 4 tanks as quick as possible and then start pushing out. Of course, his army is very scary right now for Dream, but he's gonna be having the defender's advantage. He's gonna be dropping right here as soon as Innovation moves out to buy himself some more time and get some damage. 4 SCVs will fall, 5, actually probably 6 for Innovation, who's pinned right now. Who's gonna be take some time trying to chase down these aliens. One Viking will actually get a kill on top of this Medivac, which is gonna be great. No boost available. So overall, a good thing for Innovation comes down, but at the cost of 10 SCVs. Right now, this push has to deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean the good thing for that is that he delayed Innovation's move out with his attack, and he was able to get 10 SCVs. So now Dream's ahead in the worker count, 9 to, but by 10 almost. And this is not like a ZVT where if the Zerg player has a 10 worker lead, that's all right. This is a mirror matchup, so you both have the same macro mechanics, and so this is actually a pretty decent lead here in terms of the worker count.
It is a pretty big deal. Like, consider like Innovation to have these many tanks out, to have this army be able to move out. He has to cut corners, and the corners he cuts were Stim and Combat Shields. Stim is just now finished. It has been finished for quite a while for Dream, who already has Combat Shields. But right now, this Raven can really put some value into these trades, and the tank advantage can really work out in favor of Innovation if he's able to stop these tanks with a couple well-placed interference matrix. Nope. Yeah, that is exactly air advantage. Can do this, stretching the advantage even more, while Dream is trying to set up with us around, knowing he has combat shields and his opponent does not. Another tank will go down to interference matrix and leapfrogging of tanks. One of the tanks will go down for Innovation while Dream is setting up the surround. Here comes the army of Dream ready to pincer move Innovation, but the army of Innovation is a little bit too strong. Dream is losing too many tanks without getting anything. Right now, the count is 6-2 in favor of Innovation, and Dream really needs to put a miracle into use right here with his +1 infantry armor advantage. 1 tank goes down for Innovation at the cost of 1 tank for Dream. Innovation dies here on the fur base, or maybe not. Dream still struggling to find a good spot to engage. These Medivacs are keeping the Marines alive. Right now, Innovation is finally deciding to dive in on top of this Spur base. These Marines are fighting the Marines of Dream, but he's behind in upgrades. He cannot really take that fight.
Yeah, I mean, Innovation is really committed right now. He does not have a dirt base, remember. So Dream, if Dream can hold on, then he is going to pull ahead. But if Innovation wins this fight, it's going to be pretty much over.
Okay, the Ribbon has gone down for Innovation, but he still has a lot of tanks out in a good spot. This Spur command center for Dream has been actually moved apart by Innovation's push. Dream needs to step down and defending his natural. His SCV is ready to be pulled if the needs arise. But Dream is getting what he needs right now. Finally, Innovation pairs up, ties up the upgrades with his opponent in terms of Marines. But these two Liberators incoming, that's an interesting play from Innovation. Oh, dive begins. Two Liberators are already out for Dream, setting up on top of the Marines. The fight has been won by Innovation due to the straight amount of tanks he has with these. These Marines are steaming forward. The Liberators are down. The tanks are down. All of the Marines have been cleared for Dream. Just a punch are right now spawning. But Innovation is still pushing forward. He has the medevac advantage. And it looks like he's gonna win this engagement, even just barely. The tank amount he has is through the roof. 20 workers behind. Yes, but look how many tanks does he have.
Yeah, 8-1 right now.
Wow.
9-2. Oh man, that's a huge tank lead for Innovation.
And getting the Liberator's kill like was a very good move.
Yeah, so that means that, you know, without the Liberators, he can't really break the siege, right? So you can
Going
just...
into the main.
Oh.
Oh, that's scary. That's scary. Of course, all the SCVs and Marines are pulled right in time. Tanks are trying to siege up to keep those Marines aside. The action is very hard to see with those Medivacs flying over everything, but it seems like Dream is clearing out this Doom Drop. That's a lot of tanks lost, but this, in the end, 11 SCVs will fall down for Innovation, who's been able to tie up the worker count, keeping this Spur base away from Dream as well. In the end, Innovation is gonna fly out with a supply advantage of 10. He's still gonna be there to keep this Spur command center from landing. Right now, yes, to back off, but great trade by Innovation. Dream is gonna be trying to chase down those Medivacs and Marines. He has a pretty powerful army, but Innovation is sending in reinforcements, steaming forward. His Liberators are just right now sieging up. And it looks like Innovation once more gets the trade.
Oh, but he's Innovation is gonna have to put a bit more damage because sooner or later, Dream is gonna have another upgrade advantage. He's gonna have a +1 arm or +1 attack advantage.
And Vikings and Liberators fighting each other right now. He's gonna be stealing an advantage for the side of Innovation, who has more tanks, more Marines, more Liberators, and more Medivacs. He just has the worst upgrades and less workers, but, you know, stuff happens.
Stuff happens indeed. Looks like Innovation is gonna head in and fly over to the natural. Oh man, this is gonna be... I'm not sure if this is the right call here. The Marines...
Are sieging up right now. Marines are fighting each other. The upgrade is in favor of Dream. Don't forget this. But right now, the tanks are on siege for Dream. They're still gonna win the fight. Oh, the cost was pretty high. 11 SCVs again.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if that was the right call. I mean, the positioning of the Marines of Dream was right there. And of course, Dream's Marines are stronger. Has that +1 attack upgrade advantage. So... a little bit of a risky play there by Innovation. I mean, he's still not out of it. I mean, the workers are relatively close, but the upgrades I still feel it's going to get dire and dire for Innovation because +2 armor is going to finish relatively soon as well for Dream. So he's going to be up by 2 upgrades, and in those you know, Marine versus Marine battles, it's going to be really quite tough. Now he's going to have to rely on his tanks to do the splash damage, but right now the tank count is both let's see here, 2 to 3, so not that huge of a tank advantage for Innovation.
Dream really taking the best out of defender's advantage in many of those trades, barely surviving with the least amount of units he needed. So, well, right now the situation is looking dire for Innovation. A Scan gets used to try and trade with those tanks. He will win this trade, but there is one Viking out, so he will need to try and keep the tank count as low as possible for Dream. Right now, I think he has done this since it's 3-0 in favor of Innovation, but this trade is still gonna be very difficult. A steam forward for Dream, and this fight is a very tough one. Fighting on the side of Liberator though, this can go in favor of Dream, but the amount of units out of Innovation is just way too high. Innovation through Spear, Brute Force is getting more and more damage, 16 SCVs and counting. Innovation is doing this. It looks like a counter-attack from Dream is getting some damage on the other side of the map, but it's not enough. Final Innovation taking the decisive lead into this game. 30 supply lead. His army is still steaming forward. These Marines are taking a fight. Right here at the natural, 20 SCVs have been killed for Dream. And it's been a 44 SCV loss for the Green Terran in this game. Do drop into the main again. Innovation decides to dive yet again for the big play. I don't know what it is happening right now, but Dream is dropping supply like crazy. Even with those upgrade advantage, Dream has nothing to stand right now and is soon to call the GG. Innovation is gonna take this game in just a little bit. I don't know why Dream is not tapping out right now.
Yeah, I just don't see any way he can come back from this. But you know what? Innovation gonna go ahead into game number 5 with a 2-2 tie. And GG. Well done and beautiful play by by Innovation. And yeah, I just... Oh, wait, sorry. Yeah, Innovation. Because, you know what? Remember, he was down by 2 upgrades.
Yeah,
2 upgrades. That's huge in TBT.
It was a sick game, like really one of the best in a few months I've seen in this matchup. It was very, very good. Innovation played an insane game, like really, really keeping up with the aggression, even against defender's advantage. Like it was looking time after time, Dream, like it was snowballing an advantage, and then Innovation was patient enough to wait for the right moment to strike. And when he did, oh boy, did he strike. That was a crazy good fight.
Yeah, for sure. All right. As we get this game number 5 set up, let's take a little bit of a look here to see what Match Arena is all about. So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back after these short messages.
You can visit the Match Arena page for our event and contribute in many different ways. 1. Free coupon. Click Contribute, enter the specified coupon code to contribute a predetermined amount of money to the prize pool. 2. Free sponsor quests. On the right side of the screen are various actions supported by sponsors, including retweets, Twitter follows, surveys, among other things. Click into these boxes to complete the action and add the attached prize contribution to the pool free of charge. 3. Marketplace. Products are available in our marketplace, which also contribute to the fundraising pool. Be sure to check out the variety of apparel and collectibles, as well as other unique items. 4. Donate. Clicking on the Contribute button, you're able to add funds to your Match Arena wallet and then directly contribute them to the fundraiser page. Thanks for supporting your event with Match Arena.
All right, welcome back, guys. So remember, guys, there is a Match Arena page for this event. Right on the top of the chat area, there's a pinned message by Sushi, who has generously pinned that Match Arena link, as well as the coupon code you can use. Guys, just use all the coupon codes to help support the players. You don't even need to pay out of pocket. It's free for you. All you need to do is, again, just enter with your account. Just enter the coupon code, contribute, and that's it. And then, of course, there are the replay packs if you are interested in getting that. If you purchase the replay packs, then not only do you have access to the replays of this entire event, but you also help support the players on top of it. So head on over to Matcherino and check it out.
All right. The score is tied. We're heading on Pillars of Gold. And here, in the bottom left-hand corner, spawning as the Green Terran, playing for Brave Star Gaming, it is Dream.
And spawning at the top right, he's the red Terran player from Kaizi Gaming with an impressive Game 4 win. Can he extend his lead to 3-2? We shall see. It is Innovation.
I love this. I absolutely love this. This is impossibly hard to scout. Like, there is no path you can take unless you go straight there to see if there is a proxy there, which you can scout. Yeah, look at this. Just now, and the first barracks is already done. Like, this is insanely hard to scout. There are 2 barracks in your natural. Like, damage is gonna be come out insanely fast. And Innovation with the BM on top of Dream as well. With the interrogation mark, those 2 SCVs will actually stop the bunker from ever happening. Of course, they're not gonna manage to get a great fight against these many SCVs, but yeah, like, Innovation will bring up a great fight right now against Dream. Oh, this bunker needs not to finish. Okay, Dream is gonna finish his bunker, but he's still pinned into his main. Innovation can still very much just go around the bunker for now. He's gonna kill one of the SCVs again. Innovation going on top of this Reaper cliff. The Reaper battle is barely won by Innovation with a Reaper advantage. But with 2 bunkers being up right now, it's gonna be harder and harder to get into the main of Dream. It looks like Dream has been having a great defense this far. With the right amount of SCVs being pulled, he's still gonna take some losses. He's still gonna be able to probably deflect this without dying. Another Reaper falls down for Innovation. That's already a big matter, but in the end, the first element is just barely out right now, trying to get some fight into these Reapers. One other Reaper will fall, and another Marine will get into these bunkers fairly shortly. I don't think Innovation can do much more with these Reapers, but is still committing into this. 2 Reapers are right now the count. There is no Marine in the bunker right here south, which is gonna be salvaged as well. Now that there are Hellions, Dream feels like he doesn't need those bunkers. He's gonna dive on top of these Reapers to try and get the fight to them, and it looks like Perfect Micro is gonna help Dream to stay alive. Reapers are shoot away, and I feel like the proxy has been defeated from Dream. GG gets gold. Sick defense from the Green Terran.
Yeah, I mean, once the Hellions are out, it's like significantly harder to kind of snowball that. So after losing the Reaper as well, I'm not sure if Innovation had anything on the other on his main base where it could defend against the Hellions. Maybe he had if he had a Cyclone popping out soon, he might have, but I don't think he had any.
Yeah, he didn't have anything into his main. He just had a supply depot.
Oh man, yeah, okay, so yeah, that explains why the GG was called out.
He was all in on that Reaper play. I was a lot surprised he wasn't actually getting any. He wasn't getting away from there. He wasn't lifting his barracks and start macroing up back home. And it was because he was completely all in. There was nothing back home for him to go to, so he just stepped out. And like, I cannot really blame him. Like, when you go like full ham on that play, you just do not recover from it if it is deflected as cleanly as Dream did deflected. Like, he'd been losing a couple SCVs, but Innovation on his own side of the map, he wasn't even making SCVs. So, yeah. Super clean defense by Dream. Like,
yeah. Now imagine if he didn't rally his SCV to the mineral line and he just built a command center there. Like, that would have been horrible.
Sure, yes. But let's get into the introductions. We're here on Ice and Chrome for the 6th map of the series. We're looking at the base of the Green Terran in the top right hand corner. Leading the series 3-2 is currently at match point. It is Dream.
And spawning here at the bottom left, he is the red Terran player from Kaizi Gaming. He needs to win this game in order to push it to an ace match or it's all over. Can he do it? It is Innovation.
Like, what is the last map? If you go to that, it's Golden Wall.
Yep.
Ooh.
TBT on Golden Wall. Now, how would that turn out to be?
Oh, that is a spooky game number 7. If it gets to that. Oh, I would love to see that. I'm so much rooting for Innovation to win this game now. I want to see that game 7 on Golden Wall. Please give me that.
Yeah, the craziness that can happen on that map.
Yeah, like this series has already been crazy good. Like every single game has been different from the other. So many different styles. Like probably the only 2 games that were a little bit more alike were Game 3 and Game 4. But the outcome was so different. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what is going to happen. Innovation again, gonna go for the same build he went for in game number 3 and game number 4. It worked out wonders on Eternal Empire. And Ice and Chrome and Eternal Empire share a lot of similarities. So why not try it over here? Ice and Chrome, I feel like it's the new Eternal Empire in a way. Like it's a little bit more like there are a little bit more choke points and rocks and stuff that can alter your game plan. But in the end, like the way you approach the map is quite similar.
Well, with assuming that Eternal Empire will be phased out, because it has been in a map pool the last 2 seasons, you would imagine that Blizzard is going to change it up and remove it, or at least replace it with another different map. I think Ice and Chrome can definitely be a good substitute for Eternal Empire.
And Innovation has a really complicated relationship with his own Reapers. Today, it's gonna be losing one against Dream, already giving the Green Terran a little bit of an early advantage, 1 Reaper ahead. And yeah, that matters in this matchup. That matters a lot.
Maybe Kaizi Gaming can just like sign Beyond and have him like help Innovation out with his Reaper control, because his Reaper control has been so poor today.
Yeah, and it's so uncharacteristic. I cannot stress this further. Like, he's not the player who is supposed to lose his Reapers. I love how he has hidden his Reaper to go for some further aggression. Back home, he has what it takes to deal with those aliens. And okay, there are 2 aliens. Yeah, goodbye, Reaper. Never mind. Innovation losing Reapers. Name a more iconic duo. Yeah, okay, Dream. Proxy Starport. I didn't even see it. Like, this map is too big.
I know, right? I didn't even see it too. But here we go.
Dream destroyed Innovation with this. Let's see how it goes here, because Innovation is going for a little bit more aggressive play. So yeah, he's gonna have 1 tank with this. Oh, the balls on Dream going straight into the main. And look at this. SCVs falling left and right. Innovation trying to deal with this. Dream getting 6 SCVs and counting. This is looking devastating. 7 SCVs down. Innovation already behind on workers due to his delayed command center. He's gonna be even more behind.
And he is not done yet. He feels like he can get another drop in, but with the Viking there, he will have to retreat back home with that medevac and get it repaired. But oh, this Liberator gets rallied, almost got picked off there.
Yeah, that was going to be a pretty big goof from the side of Dream. It looks like Innovation doesn't care about the support. He wants to go for the kill. That's a very brave move In the end, oh, this Medivac could barely survive. The tanks are getting into position to deal with the Marines and the Cyclone. Of course, Lock-on is on cooldown. It cannot be used on tanks. The tanks are sieging up. So does the Liberator from Dream. Just barely out of range. And it looks like this Liberator needs to be constantly repaired. The Viking is getting the kill. And Innovation setting up a perfect... Whoa, wait. The Cyclone did lock on top of the Viking. The Viking is down. Ooh, this is spooky. Marines are diving on top of the Liberator to get the kill. Of course, these tanks are helping out. Another Viking is bringing up the action for Innovation. It looks like Dream doesn't have a lot to hold with these 7 SCVs are going down. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Hellion drop is still getting damaged. Dream gets away from there. The Starport finally lands back on. He's burning down though. Needs to be lifted up back again. Innovation has set up a very strong contain. Even losing 5 more SCVs back home won't matter a lot. There are 3 tanks right here. Pinning Dream in his natural.
But I don't think he has quite the air control yet. Okay, with the Liberator, he might be able to, but SCV's getting put. Oh no! I think that was a huge blunder there. Was going for the SV pool, but retreated at the last minute, the last second, and that's going to be 8 SCVs going down in the blink of an eye.
The Viking being up still means a lot for Dream, but Innovation is setting up way too much army into this. The tanks are still the most important part, but 2 Vikings are out for Dream. Let's see if he's able to deal with those tanks. 2 tanks down for Innovation. His army advantage not really been put into use due to defender's advantage from Dream. I've been looking for a way for Innovation to close the deal, but I don't think there is as of now. I think he needs to be happy with the amount of damage he's done. He's not happy it seems, but he's gonna lose both his tanks to this. I don't know about that Innovation. These Vikings chasing down the Liberator, going down a very, very dangerous path next to these Marines. But Innovation, even though he has so many Marines, he cannot do much.
That was a huge blunder there by Innovation. He had the tank lead, didn't quite have the air advantage, but losing those multiple tanks, losing 4 tanks to pretty much nothing, that I think changes the whole complexion of this game.
The Liberator in the main of Dream, like that was looking so good for Innovation. Like he had 20 plus supply advantage, and right now even on workers he has 10 more supply in army, but it is just Marines. Yeah, like Marines are what wins game, what win games in this matchup. But you need to have those upgrades. With you need to have Steam, you have to have at least +1/+1. In the early game, Marines don't do basically anything.
Yeah, they're kind of like wasted supply at this point, right?
Yeah, like before Steam is done, these Marines cannot really bring anything to the fight. They can keep Vikings and Liberators honest, but that's basically everything.
Yeah, now with the third base of Dream, pretty much morphing into an orbital, while Innovation has yet to even start his third command center. I think Innovation is gonna probably have to go for a huge all-in push. I might even have to pull his SCVs or something.
Like 6 kills from a Liberator from Dream as well, putting Innovation even more behind in workers count. Of course, Innovation still gonna have that army advantage. Right now, as soon as Steam finishes, finally those Marines can be put into use. But Innovation is really struggling for a way to put his army advantage into use.
Now, the one advantage that Innovation does have is he has a Raven. So if he wants to, he can interference matrix the tanks, some of the tanks during the fight. But it's gonna really come down to the the overall engagement of Innovation to make sure he cleans this out. But that's a lot of tanks.
Yeah, Dream is setting up in a very good spot over there. Those interference matrices are gonna be clutch if Innovation is able to get those right. It's gonna be very important. Going down into this choke point, that wasn't the most clever thing to do. Innovation realizes that and decides to back off for the time being. It needs to stay on the high ground as well. It doesn't really have a way to establish air advantage without Vikings. Even just the 2 out of Dream are way more than enough. And they're getting into position to deal with the Raven. The Raven needs to back off for a little while. Steaming forward. Finally, those Marines are doing something right here. And they're doing something great. Getting a big fight. Marines do win games with Steam. And it's exactly what Innovation is doing with that 10 SCVs down. Vikings and Medivacs not doing anything. And right now, these Marines, even without Medivacs, are just doing way too much. It looks like Combat Shield will be denied. 12 SCVs are down and Innovation is fighting exactly where he wants to fight. In the main, nothing is going on for Dream. He cannot do anything at all. His production is under attack. Everything is under fire. We're gonna have a game number 7, folks. We're gonna go on Golden Wall because Innovation is railing down Dream right now. Finally, this is cleared. But guys, the command center has gone down. Dream calls the GG. And it's 3-3 right now. My game just crashed, by the way.
I mean, that game was crazy. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it crashed mines as well. But Jesus, I don't know how Innovation does it. I mean, he was pretty much behind. That was pretty much his all-in attack there. If he does not win that fight, it was pretty much over. It would have been GG 4-2 in favor of Dream. But Innovation hitting right before Dream's upgrades finished. He Dream had a +1 about to finish, but Innovation had +1 already, and he just stemmed right into the natural, got the positioning, and was able to just turn that game around in an instant. And by the time Dream was able to get his +1/1, Innovation was pretty much in the main base of a Dream. So well done there. He does force it to an ace and final match to determine who will win this finals, and it will be on the map of Golden Wall.
Can't wait for this.
Yep, same here.
And as much as Innovation really pulled a rabbit out of the hat there, once again Dream having some tiny bit problems of positioning, not having a single tank sieged out in a way that could prevent those Marines from just going straight into the natural is a pretty damn big mistake in this matchup. You have to think about TVT as a game of chess. If one of your pieces is out of position and can get eaten by pieces of your opponent will just do that. It's not a matchup you can do positioning mistakes in. Because if you do a positioning mistake, you're gonna lose. That's everything that is going to happen. And that's exactly what happened here. Innovation found a mistake on Dream's positioning, he exploited it, and he won the game. That's as clean as you can get.
All right.
We have one more game to go through for today's stream, guys. It is on Golden Wall. It is the ace match, game number 7 between those two players. We've gone the distance. In the bottom left-hand corner is the base of the Green Terran playing for Brightstar Gaming. It is Dream.
And here, spawning at the bottom right corner of the map, it is the red Terran player from Kaizi Gaming. Can he pull off the win? It is Innovation.
Yeah, as Sushi was saying in the chat, we kind of cursed Dream. Too good, in a too good position. Like, he just had to ruin it to make us sound wrong. So we just did that. All right, Golden Wall. Probably both players really don't want to do anything too crazy. They're gonna standardize to their best opener, to what they think they can do best, because like this map can get very crazy very fast.
Yeah, I mean, considering that this is a game 7, the decisive game to determine the winner, I think both players usually tend to opt to go for a more normal opening. I think sometimes, players, they kind of feel like, the viewers are watching for an epic game number 7. If I just cheese and just win outright, it's going to disappoint a lot of viewers. Yeah. So it's kind of like a player's guilt to just go for the go for the standard play in the last indecisive match rather than go for a proxy cheese of some sort.
I still remember like Cure versus Maru GSL. I think it was like season 3 2018 or season 4, I don't remember. And like they went to game number 7 as well on the crazy 4 players map. And like Maru decided to proxy on a 4 players map, like in the middle of nothing, and it came down to Cyclones and Reapers and super early game, crazy game, and it was just like it lasted like 6 minutes or so, but it was crazy, like one of the weirdest games I've ever seen. And that's exactly what I was thinking when I seen Golden Wall being the last map for this series. This could go very crazy. Like, look at this. Reapers fighting Reapers and Marines, and look at this. Dream getting a great engagement. Getting one SCV, one Reaper, and almost getting a Marine. In the end, it's gonna retreat back home. And well. Dead even supplies for the 2 players.
Yeah, just pretty much even supply in terms of overall as well as worker, army as well. Nothing too crazy here, but Hellion here is gonna randomly go into the natural. Might get this meal. Nope, does not quite get it.
Welcome to TVT. Like, one random unit shows at your doorstep and you can just get damage because we
Oh man, that's very different from TVP where just a random unit appears in your mineral line, like a Widow Mine or something.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, Dream is gonna get this Cyclone into action, getting one alien killed. But yeah, like both players are going for the absolute standard Raven tank, and the only thing that's a little bit different right here in this opener is this Engineering Bay being dropped down a little bit quicker by Innovation. You know, Innovation is the guy who needs to be a little bit more efficient than anyone else. He needs to cut that corner and get his upgrades quicker, even if it means like stretching out his supply depots like at the last possible second. That's exactly what he's doing now. He's getting ahead by just macroing slightly better than his opponent, even though Dream is right now dropping his third command center, and Innovation is instead pulling down the trigger on 2 more Rexes.
Yeah, I think we've seen a kind of a little bit of a pattern here where Innovation doesn't quite go for the quicker third. There's been a few games here in this series where Dream has gone for a much quicker third command center, while Innovation invested in either more barracks or a faster upgrade. But it's once again, it's gonna be up to Innovation to get the damage done to justify the late third.
It looks like Innovation is gonna have yeah.
Just got scanned.
Yeah, that is very, very good from Dream. Like, exceptionally good to catch those Medivacs, move out exactly at the right moment. He's gonna be moving his army just in position. He has a Cyclone and the Raven already there to deal with this. And he's gonna be moving 1 tank into the mineral line to be even more prepared. Doesn't want to get blindsided. He's still gonna spread out his tanks in different positions. But of course, the bulk of the army of Dream is in the main. Oh, wait. Oh, Marines? Marines, you want to go in the main. Marines, you want to stick in the main. Oh no. Please don't. Okay. SCV is being pulled? What? Okay, that's a weird reaction from Dream. It looks like it's working, but that's still a weird reaction. Vikings getting into position to deal with the Raven. Auto turrets will save the day. Just barely. Yeah, that scan was clutch, by the way. Without that scan, I don't know what would have happened.
Yeah, and now with a quicker third, a much quicker third, he can just start mulling up, start those SCV production, and just get ahead in the income graph. Let's see, take a look at the income graph. Oh my god, it just spiked up huge for Dream. As you can see, the third orbital just finished for Dream. Innovation though, he still has quite a significant army with Wait, does he have +1? Yep, he has a +1. So he's gonna have a timing window where he can get some significant damage done.
Yeah, timing it is attack with combat shields. Is gonna be behind in upgrades in just a second once infantry armor kicks in. But combat shields is way more important than infantry armor in this stage of the game. So these 5 more HPs are gonna be 10 more HP. Sorry, are gonna be working more in favor of innovation than infantry armor is going to work in favor of Dream. Since infantry armor is also finishing down for innovation. Combat shields is also finishing down for Dream though. So that little window of timing has been lost by innovation. Medivacs. Oh. Both players need to unload their Medivacs, and it looks like the map is divided in two right now. Two different armies for both players fighting in two different locations. Innovation is gonna have the advantage in both of these, but the Raven goes down. That's a little bit of a mistake from Innovation, losing that Raven without doing anything. His army is still way stronger, even though he cannot really push into the main since there is no Medivac with this. Those tanks are still getting damaged. It looks like the Vikings tried to snipe down the Medivac. 2 Medivacs are flying right here with the South Army of Innovation, while the top side, the northern side of the Army of Innovation is right now sieging up. The army supply is crazily in favor of Innovation right now.
Yeah, but there's no way he can get in. I mean, Dream has the air dominance. He can't even fly into the main base. And then in the front, in the natural area, he can't, run up into a huge line of siege tanks. So even though Innovation has this supply lead in terms of army supply, he just really can't engage. Oh, it looks like he's gonna fly.
One of his medivacs is badly bruised. Needs the miss. Oh, missile turret is not targeting the right medivac. One of the medivacs is going down indeed. Oh, wait. It doesn't. Missile turret is sniped before he can do anything, and Innovation has found a crazy good spot to engage. Dream wasn't paying enough attention to snipe down the most important of the units. Interface measures being dropped on one of the tanks while the Vikings are taking down those medivacs. Here comes the rest of the Marines from Dream. But this has been a very costly trade. Meanwhile, in the natural, Innovation trying to set up some Marines on top of the tanks. He's diving down on top of this as well. The SCVs are trying to fight with the main army. Innovation diving a little bit too forward maybe, or maybe not, I don't know. Tanks are getting so much value for Dream, but the tanks are out there for Innovation as well. 23 SCVs are falling down for Dream. This is crazy good for Innovation, even though this siege up will probably be cleared in the end. Dream doesn't have Marines to push ahead, and 23 SCVs have been killed by Innovation. Crazy trade for the Red Terran.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised because going up a huge ramp with a bunch of siege tanks sieged up already, that was pretty risky. But you know what? Innovation making impossible things possible time after time, and now he's got a Dream saying bye-bye.
Yeah, he knows he's way too behind right now. He lost way too many SCVs. Innovation is right now getting into the golden base. He has full map control, so of course he gets into the golden base. That's the best thing he can do to snowball his advantage even further. And yeah, Dream really needs to do a miracle right now. Innovation in an incredibly good spot, ahead in army, ahead in workers. The only thing going on for Dream, once more, is just those upgrades. The guy is crazy good at keeping up with the army.
Yeah. That has been quite another pattern throughout the series as well.
Dream trying to take a trade in the middle of the map. Innovation answered quickly to that as well. Being able to get away with the life of one of his medivacs. Still win against a bunch of Marines. Dream trying to move out right now. He needs to do something desperate. He has the army advantage. He has been making nothing but army since a little while. He has the upgrade advantage. He can make something happen, but he needs to be very careful about how he moves. There is no tank right here. He scans forward to catch it if anything is amiss, and really nothing is preventing him from just steaming on top of this command center. Of course, +2 is done. So these Marines are getting a lot of damage actually. Dream, wait a second. That's a little bit too much damage. Innovation finding himself to be the one out of position this time. This command center is going down. 20 SCVs have been killed by Dream, and this is a lot of damage. Orbital command burning down. No way he can be saved. He burns down and he goes down. Dream diving in the natural. Where is the army of innovation? He's going for the base credit. He cannot go for the base credit. He doesn't have the upgrades. Dream diving in the natural, getting another command center. Innovation, where was your army? Where were the tanks? Where were the marines? Everything is burning for the Red Terran. Dream is winning the base trade, and right now Innovation trying to do what he can, but he does not have the upgrades. This will never go in favor of Innovation. Less army supply, less everything. There are 2 tanks right here in the main, but so there are... Oh, actually, there is only 1 in the main of Dream. Wait a second, this could very well go bad for Dream, but he's one able to sneak an orbital command away from his own base. Innovation lifting up all of his buildings, and this can become a war of attrition very, very fast. There are Vikings for Dream though. Something that cannot be said for Innovation. There is no way Inno can chase down these flying buildings, while Dream will just send his Vikings after them. Here comes the Medivacs trying to fly down through the map to get on top of the Vikings. Vikings are going down. Only 1 survives and barely survives. 1 HP. It looks like Innovation is gonna be defending the last stand in the middle of the map, but I have no idea how you can pull this off. This is crazy. Innovation has the army advantage, but let's look at the 2 armies. 7 Medivacs to 5, 3 tanks to 2. It looks like this orbital command is going down. Tanks are getting some damage. This is crazy.
Oh my god. He needs to save that Viking as much as possible, because that's the only way of winning this. Because if both players loses their Vikings, they can force a tie, right? But if one of the players has a Viking, he can snipe at the flying buildings on the dead space. Oh no! This Viking...
Yeah, this Viking is so important right now. There is 1 Marine from Innovation trying to find any flying buildings. It looks like Dream is just going right now in the bottom left. I still feel like a big fight needs to happen right here. One of the 2 players has to pull the trigger. It could be a tie. It could be a tie.
Yeah, but that... Look at that Viking. Viking has only 1 health left.
Yeah, if that Viking goes down, this is almost certainly going to be a tie.
Yeah. Wait, there's no command center, right? Yeah, there's no command center on the field, so...
Like, Dream lost his command center. He was flying it with his own army, but Innovation steamed on top of it and got the kill.
We might actually have a tie. Oh, but he's just repairing that Viking, though.
Yeah, he has the resources to repair. Okay, the Viking is full health right now. Innovation is gonna keep his structures with his main army, and Dream is flying his structures somewhere. I don't know where. Like right now, Dream has the Marine and tank. The Marine advantage, while Innovation has the tank advantage. Oh, spooky! This is spooky. Oh, things are sieging up. Nothing goes down in this trade as well. Innovation as the... well, finally the unit goes down. Innovation as the high ground right now. 3 tanks against 2 means that this fight will hardly go in favor of Innovation. Yes, the...
Oh my god, these guys are just like, I win. No, I win. Oh my god, is he dropping? He's gonna drop on the tanks? I don't... Okay, never mind.
Structures. Maybe. Okay, he's just gonna go on the high ground. He was just trying to distract his opponent with structures. And now he's on the high ground. He's steaming forward on top of the structures. He wants to... Oh, wait, this wasn't a great idea from Dream, I feel like. Oh, no, this wasn't a great idea at all.
Yeah, that might have been the blunder that cost him the game. I think his idea was I could snipe the 2 remaining buildings and I could win that game, the game that way. but there was already siege tanks sieged up, and it takes a lot of more Marines to snipe off the buildings that quickly.
Dream also lost a bunch of structures, so this is not yet a tie in the game timer. Oh, it looks like Innovation wants to dive right now. Oh.
Oh yeah, that was. I think he was thinking about it just for a second.
Oh, Viking still survives. This Viking is so important. Viking is so important. Oh, two forward, two forward.
That's his main ace card. He has the air advantage with that Viking, that one Viking.
If the Viking goes down, this is almost certainly going to be a tie. Like, Dream actually can't lose.
Yeah, Dream has no way of losing. Innovation though, he can't win with a tie if he can snipe off that Viking though. That's a
Oh, that's a big tie from Dream. On top of the tanks are going down, but Dream is losing the whole of his army. This is probably going to be a tie. Yeah, that's a tie, guys.
Yep. I think we have a tie here. Oh my god. This was a game 7 to decide who was gonna be the winner of this event, this tournament. And you know what? I'm not gonna be mad about this. We get our second game 7.
And that's a tie.
Yeah, that's pretty much a tie. Alright. Wow.
Yeah.
Alright, just waiting for them to leave the game here.
Yeah, they're like, they cannot even say no. Like, this is a, both players have no way of losing the game.
Yeah. What a crazy game 7 there. I think of all the times I've ever casted in my life, that's the first tie I've ever seen in a game 7 decisive game.
True. Like, this was crazy. Like, someone in the chat was asking if you can hide buildings, and yes, you can. Like, in the bottom left corner and in the bottom right corner, there is a single spot in which buildings are untargetable by Marines. Only by Marines. Like, Marines cannot get close enough. Like,
Yeah.
Cyclone or Viking, of course, Viking Spy. Cyclones, I think also other turrets are just barely in range, but yeah. Yeah, didn't want to remake, but like, we're the referees for a reason. Like, that game would have gone on forever because either of the two players would have been able to just hide their structures forever, and that's just a tie.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? If Dream was able to micro and make better decisions that game, I think he could have actually pulled out the win, but he decided to go on top of the tanks and he just lost everything, unfortunately.
Like, if you go like with the camera in the bottom left corner or in the right corner, you can see like there is this spot over here. Like, there is no way a Marine can get close to this spot attacking structures, and Dream already had a bunch of structures like hiding there in the bottom left hand corner, so it was a tie 100%.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the introductions, guys. We're yet again on Gold Roll. Here in the bottom left-hand corner, playing for Braystar Gaming, is the Green Terran. It is Dream.
Alright, and here spawning at the bottom right, we have the red Terran player from Kaizi Gaming. He is the one, the only Innovation.
So what was was Innovation saying he didn't want to remake?
Not sure. I think he maybe felt like he had some way of winning, but without a Viking or even a Liberator, I don't see him winning that game.
he couldn't win. Like it would have been like just the in-game timer would have had a tie sooner or later, probably later.
Yeah. I mean, unless you give like Marines like plus 11 range or something that could reach this command center, is like there's no way you can win that game.
We cannot give Innovation the victory just because he won the main engagement, because of course Dream took that engagement, an engagement that you would never took in other situations. He took that because he knew he couldn't lose, and he knew he had to do something, because he was the only one actually playing for something. Innovation was just playing not to lose in that spot. So, as we were saying before that engagement, there was no way Innovation could have won because he didn't have Vikings, and Dream had his buildings flying in the bottom left-hand corner. So, yeah. That is just the time.
And what's unfortunate is that Innovation had a significant lead there during the base trade, but he was a bit undecisive. Wasn't able to decide whether to go for the retreat and help defend his main base, or to go for the counterattack. In the end, of course, he went for the counterattack, but it took him like forever to decide on that. And that gave Dream the opening to take back the lead and the advantage.
Really, Dream having those Vikings and losing them against a bunch of Marines, like, it is quite a bummer. Like, oh, I love how Innovation is mixing things up right now. Banshee Cloak. Who?
Wow, we haven't seen the Banshee Cloak throughout this, or even the Banshee throughout this whole entire series. So this is a really nice change-up. I like it.
Yeah, really mixing it up. Of course, a lot of Marines are being made by Innovation to stop any aggression, stop any scouting as well. And of course, this will put Dream a little bit on caution. Like, seeing these many Marines, no Reaper, like, is gonna put you off a little bit. So Dream probably knows something weird is about to happen. Those two Marines are not gonna get a good trade for their lives. Innovation trading two Marines for nothing, but he's gonna be sending one Cloak through the map. And okay, there is a scan, but there is no units. There is a Viking in the making, but this Banshee will get crazy damage right now. There is one Marine, actually two Marines.
Oh, I think he just wasted his scan. His energy on the mule. Oh man, he's gonna have a hard time dealing with this Banshee with only one scan.
He's gonna be having one scanning just a little bit. The Cyclone is out, and okay, the Banshee starts dealing damage. Of course, he can two-shot those SCVs. Here comes the scan, preemptively getting the Banshee, and that was a little bit of miscontrol from Innovation, who's trying to actually deflect his aggression coming from Dream over here, losing 3 SCVs to this alien drop once more. Dream with a clutch play, getting a lot of damage actually. 6 SCVs, wait a second. Alright.
Oh my god, even more maybe? Oh.
Yeah, that tank over there going to be a little bit too tough of an obstacle. Oh, he's dodging the shots of the Banshees.
Oh man, what sick micro.
There is a Raven incoming from the Dream as well to keep those Banshees from actually doing more damage. Dream has been doing an insanely good job at keeping those Banshees back home, but finally Innovation will move through the map again. Now that there is a Raven out, well, there will be a Raven out in just a second. I don't really feel like those Banshees are gonna be a threat whatsoever with a Cyclone and the Viking being out already.
Yeah, there's just really no way I think these Banshees can get enough damage unless he's gonna sneak through the natural. I mean, but I don't. Yeah, I think with the army there going back.
Oh, Banshees actually sniped down the Cyclone. That's really interesting. There's the Raven coming to keep these Banshees from escaping. The Raven establishing a position from which Dream could kill one of the Banshees, but Innovation is still moving out with a pretty scary army.
The thing that worries me though is that Dream does have a Raven, so that's gonna really help him during that fight. So I don't think, I mean, compared to the last game, Innovation was able to kind of finally push through up the ramp, but this time around I'm just not sure that's gonna work out too well.
We've seen it happen on Ice and Chrome. Like, these Marines, without Steam, they're not gonna do much in this scenario. Like, once Steam is done, Marines are game ending. But without Steam, they cannot get anywhere close to those tanks. And all they can do is just buy time for the tanks of innovation to do something. But if there is interference matrix, things are a lot different. Oh my god, one of the tanks is gonna get sniped by the Cyclone. Dream! Crazy micro with that Cyclone. Getting the snipe. There are 4 Vikings to stop the Raven from actually doing anything. The Raven is under attack, almost gets sniped. This Raven is so important for Dream. It's the most important thing in the game right now for Dream. Refinery under attack right now. 3 SCVs have gone down. One of the Cyclones locks on. Actually, the only Cyclone locks on onto the Banshee. The Banshee is still gonna survive. The Raven has been repaired. Ready for the interference matrices. Vikings are fighting Vikings. Interference matrix on top of one of the Vikings, which will win the engagement for Dream just in the air. But 3 Vikings against 4 is still going in favor of innovation for some reasons. Here comes the Cyclone, lock on top of one of the Vikings. These scans are coming in clutch for Dream, and he keeps his Raven and his Viking advantage.
Yeah, this is gonna really come down to air superiority. Right now there's 4 Vikings here for Dream. We'll be able to snipe off one of these Vikings.
Yeah, the tanks are just slightly out of range for Dream. He needs to move forward. Oh, this Cyclone plays a very dangerous game right here. Locking on top of another tank, getting the kill. But Dream is wasting a lot of resources in repairing this command center without actually dealing damage to those tanks well sieged up. Innovation patiently waiting for the right moment to strike. And right now, here comes the scan. Innovation smells these tanks moving out. Here comes the scan. Of course, Innovation gonna take a good fight. The Raven drops a very good interference matrix, but the Raven goes down as well. Air advantage for Dream, but no Raven and no way to remake it. There's a reactor next to that starport right now, so no more Ravens for Dream. And that's a pretty big loss. Of course, Dream still has the advantage here in the air. Here comes a Liberator. That's very important to make those tanks on siege. And here comes the Marines as well. Steam is done for both players. Steaming forward. Dream is gonna clear this. And I think we finally got it. Dream is the winner of today's Super Series.
Wow, Dream holding on just barely, and then was finally able to catch the siege tanks on siege. Then just stemmed all his Marines, got on top of it, cleared out everything, and well done. Beautiful, beautiful play. Beautiful defense first by Dream, and then beautiful cleanup at the end. So GG, well deserved win there for Dream. But good fight for Innovation as well. Gotta give him some props. And what a great finals.
The underdog does it. I hope Innovation doesn't feel too bad about this, but then again, I've explained why that game was a tie with referees for a reason. We had to call the tie in that spot. That game was going nowhere, trust us. So Dream will get the victory after the rematch of game number 7, and we've had an 8-game series, and I'm quite happier about it, really.
Yeah, what amazing games today. I thank you all for tuning in, guys. Remember, if you want to keep supporting us here at the our Trovo channel, where we will bring you exclusive and high-level content in the future as well, just make sure to follow us. Give us a follow. Consider making a Trovo account. Give us a follow and get notified whenever we go live. If you enjoy our Alpha X series special, we are doing this every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Korean Standard Time, which is 9 a.m. Central European Summertime. And then for you NA guys and gals, it is 3 a.m. Eastern Daytime. Anyhow, any last words, Acontistas, before we wrap this up?
I thank everyone for tuning in. Of course, thanks to the players for giving us their time to play into these games. Of course, congratulations to Dream for putting up such a crazy good performance. And I'll see you all next Tuesday. Thank you to everyone, guys, for being with us.
Yeah, thank you everyone, and thank you Acontistas for joining me and co-casting, being a trooper. Yeah, we'll see you guys hopefully next time. Until then, take care and bye-bye.